Hey all, J-Man here. I just wanted to tell you about beardedshirts.com. It's a great place to get a lot of cool superhero shirts and other merchandise. You can scroll, they've always got sales on. As you can see, they've got these really cool print all over shirts, which I really love. That's Eddie, the founder of the site. And if you're looking for stuff, all you got to do is you click on the search here and you can type in all over. And that's going to show you the all over prints, which are really, really cool. Look at that. You got Legion of Superheroes, you got Brave and the Bold, you got JSA, you got Superman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, all kinds of stuff. So check out beardedshirts.com. Hello, Legionnaires. What's going on? It's Friday. It's time for some Fourth World stuff. I think this is the last, we're on the last ones here. There's only going to be a few more streams left before we are done with Jack Kirby's Fourth World. So it's pretty crazy. Today we're looking at the 11s. So Forever People 11, New Gods 11, Mr. Miracle 11. And Forever People's done today, and I think New Gods is done today. There's a New Gods special, which we'll be looking at, I think probably next week. But I think this might be the last New Gods for sure. I'm not sure for sure on that one, but for sure Forever People is done. So that's going to be exciting. And coming up this week, so this Monday, I'm going to be on Clobberin Times channel, and we're going to be doing some Earth B, which is always fun. So we'll let you know what issues that's going to be once we figure it out. So that'll be good. And next Thursday, we're going to be doing finally Transformers Thursday. We're going to cover the first 3 issues of the Skybound Transformers. I just read issue 3. I really loved it. My review for issue 3 is on my channel, so check it out. I will be posting a review for Doctor Who this Saturday. So look out for that. Those are always fun. But before we start our stream, let's please thank the members, the Legionnaires. These are the official Legionnaires of the channel. Of course, my buddy Dan, who signed up pretty much immediately. Clobby and Sean, who you guys know, of course. And Steven, who you know from the wrestling streams, but he has appeared on other streams as well. And Brennan, who has appeared on a few of the Versus streams. So thank you to my members. I appreciate it. If you do want to sign up, the link is there in the description and in my channel notes. And once a month, starting in January, one member will win a free shirt from Bearded Shirts. So you can just go on the site, pick any t-shirt you want. They'll send it to you. One member a month. So right now, we've got 5, and there's a good chance that somebody's going to be getting an extra shirt. I think if we don't get any other members, we're not going to give Clobby and Sean anything. I think we're going to. Sean's laughing in the background. I'll put a draw in for some of the other people. Give them a chance to get something, man. Like I think we each have like 20 shirts by this point, so we don't need it. We don't need any more. All right. Speaking of speaking of Sean, let's bring him in. Hey. All right. I was already like getting the guys prepped. I'm like, there's only a couple weeks left for people to sign up to be eligible for this January shirt. Yep. So it'll be I'll pretty much flip a coin between like Steve and Brennan right now. Dan, he lives in a part of the world right now that is we're not going to discuss, but it's not a great place to live. So he has already informed me that trying to send him stuff is probably not gonna happen. So we're gonna just not do that. But all right, and of course let's bring in our resident fancy pants wearer. I don't know.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Hello.
My pants are all pretty damn fancy right now.
You remember the Get Smart episode, Clobby, where they're sending Max on a mission. They're taking him through what could possibly happen. He's taking notes, and they're going through the different traps or things that the enemy could that Chaos could produce, and they said they could ask you to sit down, and then there's like a chair, and then these spikes come through it. You remember this?
I've seen the show, but I don't remember that precisely at the moment.
Okay, all right. So like these spikes come up through the chair, and Max is writing notes. He's like, "Don't wear good pants." Like that's the takeaway from that trap.
Yes.
It's like,
make it out, Chief. Don't wear good pants.
Yeah.
I got it, Chief.
you're just like this.
And loving it.
And loving it. I do love my one of my first overlay was this. This was the first overlay I put on. Let's say hello to everybody. Oh yeah, it's great. Oh yeah, I can only have one overlay at a time. Oh, StreamYards, you guys are killing me here. All right, let's say hello to FK. You were here from the beginning. Could DC do a live action? You got me. So let me address that very quickly. And this is a trap that I have fallen into. Sean has fallen into. I'm sure Clobby has fallen into it. Every comic book fan has fallen into this trap. As soon as the MCU or DC EU or whatever, as soon as it started getting bigger and we saw that these big budgets were coming out for these movies, you started immediately in your mind, oh man, like what if they did
this, movie that?
Right.
Yeah. And
the problem with that is that in your mind, you're getting the best version of that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
We've all been taught the lesson of that, though, buddy.
We have been taught that lesson.
We've been taken to the woodshed on that one.
Big time. Big time. Like, it's like, oh, wouldn't it? I remember, 10 years ago thinking, man, what if they did Moon Knight or something? That'd be bloody. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, they're never going to do Moon Knight. And then it's like, they're doing Moon Knight. And you're like, oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. And then they show a picture like, oh my God, this looks crazy. And then they had goosebumps, and then people are typing on Twitter, goosebumps, and like, whoa, and like, oh, and like the hands up going, and then you watch it and you're like, this is the worst trash thing I've ever seen in my life. Moon Knight's the worst character in the history of Marvel Comics. And you're
I've had my come to Jesus meeting with that from now. I'm talking about this for a while now. All right. I mean, you guys can have all of your live action movies. I'm not saying I don't like some of them. Sure. Some we all like some and just like others. Right.
Right.
If I could this is my big dream now, not that because I would love, for example, we're talking like Peter Jackson level love that, even though some Lord of the Rings fans said that he did some things in those first three movies he didn't like, for the most part, they're very loving and faithful, and they're great movies. Most people would say that, not everybody, but most. Yeah. If they treated New Gods like that in the movie, it would be pretty damn nice. With our technology, it can be done. But I'd actually settle for a beautiful, very long form version of an animated full adaptation that looked like it popped right off the page from Kirby's art. And of course, his family be duly remunerated for that as well. I would rather almost see animation now, and with all my other favorite comic properties, I'll take a decent or even really good live action movie. But I would love to see some of the greater comics adapted in animated form. It's been done a few times. We like some superhero cartoons that we all talked about. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see it done better on a grander scale.
Yeah,
but animated. I'd say then if I can make that deal with the devil, look, do whatever the hell you want with live action. I don't care anymore. Give me some good animated adaptations of some of my favorite comics that look like the art coming up the page. That's just me. No, it won't happen. I'm saying that's what I would like to see, and it's easier to do than.
Yes, I agree.
What we're talking about.
Yeah,
takes longer, but
get on with it. Yes, okay. We're on. Hey, C-Bizzle, what's going on, man? Thanks for popping in. We appreciate it. Met C-Bizzle on Chris's Show Us What You Got Wednesday streams. I was not on it this Wednesday. I was on the Actually talking about Silent Night, the John Woo movie, which I gave 5 out of 10, and people were not happy with me on that one. But I defended my point so well that they're like, literally, Owen was like, I can't argue any of your points. I'm like, right, exactly. It's like, because the movie was okay. 5 out of 10 is like a pass for me. Forever People, if it's Forever People by Ziggy Martin, I'm down. I don't know. Do I know Ziggy Martin? Do we know? Your Muslim uncle, how's it going?
Hey,
Brian Hepburn, how's it going?
Brian, your Muslim uncle.
No, it's Dr. BM. I said Dr. Pooh. That was not by accident.
Dr. Pooh.
If you caught that. I used to do a thing called Dr. Pooh with a buddy of ours, Skull Man, and he would be like, "Oh, dude, like he goes, pretend you're He goes like so. Dr. Pooh would travel around in his not TARDIS, but he would travel around in his spaceship looking for places to do a number 2 in. So that's which at this point in Doctor Who, I'd probably prefer that to what we're getting.
If the new rumors going around, I'm not going to say anything about it because we know we got stuff to do. And what we're about to do with it, oh boy.
Yeah, I know there's something controversial happening tomorrow. So you can bet $1,000 I'm gonna.
There hasn't been anything controversial up to now, though.
No, not at all.
This though, I mean, it's sort of like very timeless children. Let's put it like that.
Right.
The
TARDIS. That's.
I don't know why we didn't think of that.
You know what's really sad?
I've heard that before, but
we did not think of that. That actually is upsetting.
I've heard that before, and it's very right on right now.
Yeah, it's very. I can't believe, Sean. Isn't that a bit embarrassing for us? I played this Dr. Pooh character for like a year with this guy, and then we never thought of the TARDIS. I don't know.
You just weren't British enough for the bathroom humor.
No, I know. This is in 2003, so it wasn't.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. I thought. I was going through some old pictures today. Steve had hair. Which is one thing, and everyone had better hairlines or
we have 4 heads, not 5 heads. Yeah.
I've never heard that.
You never? Yeah, come on.
I remember this one guy in high school. We could put like a finger in between where the hairstyle is. And guys would go up and they'd be like, "Wait a minute, what the hell is this?" It's like,
wow,
guys, that's like a 1 finger hairline. I'm like, how did that? It's like, I don't know. It's like it came from here.
What's great about that is that when he's middle-aged, he'll just look normal.
It'll look normal. It'll get better, right? Yeah. It's like you get more farsighted or whatever. You get more nearsighted as you age or whatever it is. And it's like his hairline will become normal.
Yeah,
you'll be like 50. You'll be like, wow, you got a great hairline for a 50-year-old. Just like, yeah, too. What are you talking about? Oh my god. On that silly note, let's talk about the Infinity Man Returns. Remember that guy? Like, what the heck? Infinity Man. He was like dropped like a friggin' bad habit. The Forever People. This is number 11, the final issue of the Forever People, at least Jack Kirby's version. So what are the credits, Clobby, for the final time on Forever People?
Well, here we are. Okie dokie. Devilance the Pursuer is the title of the story, of course. Forever People. Volume only, number 11 in the final. November 1972. Cover artists Jack Kirby and Mike Royer. Writer, penciler, and editor extraordinaire Jack King Kirby. Inker, Mike Royer.
All right. And we have Devil Lance.
Badass.
The Pursuer. All right. So we start off here and we're getting right into it here. It's like so his lance, in case if you couldn't tell by his name, he has a lance.
A lance. A devilly one.
A devilly one. And he shoots people and they're like, whoa, and they're all ducking and what the hell. And we got a double this is a double splash, double pager, boom. He's like fighting, and then his lance actually turned into it can transform it, like it shoots from this point, and then it turned into like this blade weapon thingy. You need to sell your soul.
I've tried. Nobody wants to buy it. It's not even worth anything, so I can't get anything for it.
I'll sell it for $2.13.
If you slap it, it'll appreciate in value.
Yes,
I've gone as far down as a nickel, and I can't get no takers. So.
Yeah. I mean, this is just right away into fighting. What did you guys think of this guy? This Devil Lance. He looks pretty good. He looks like a Jack Kirby guy.
Yes,
he's cool.
He's a persistent baddie.
And Big Bear, you got to fight this dude. It's like, I'm fighting him, and he flips him over. I'd buy that for $1. Yep, there is that. Yep.
I buy that for $1.
That's just such a nonsense thing too. It just is like RoboCop's great. All right,
he's a bad one here. Like I say, he's definitely in the Kirby mold, in the Apocalypse mold of a guy who just thinks he's better than everybody else, and he's arrogant, and he's not very nice. He has no personality other than to kill what he's supposed to kill, and he's relentless. So he's a very top notch of a Kirby type threat, I'd say.
So he flips him over here. Flips over.
And the cops come.
And the cops come
because the landlord's like, "Oh, there's something going on in there."
Yes.
That guy, like, why is there like a battle upstairs? Like, I'm trying to like do a stream here.
I love when full names are given. It's like Trixie McGruber.
Yep.
Magruder or whatever. It's like, that's going to be like one of James Gunn's movies or something.
Yeah. Yeah, season 2. So they just greenlit Trixie McGruger season 2. So that'll be. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
Yeah, that's a new. It would be a Marvel Plus series if this was Marvel.
Yeah.
All right. So he presses his little thingies on his thingy lance here, and he flies away. And they're like,
I can't be fighting these guys.
Don't you remember back in the 70s when we were reading comic with Agatha Harkness? We go, that's gonna be a TV show someday.
I can't wait. Can't wait. I actually like that actress. I mean, I'll watch it because I just watch anything, but
it's not gonna get made.
But I mean, it's just so random. I didn't watch Loki season 2 yet. A couple of people I know watched Loki season 2 and they thought it was good. I said, hold on. So before I even contemplate watching one episode, I said, you need to spoil it for me. At the end, does Loki kill everyone, laugh over their dead bodies, and say that he was the one and true only ever Loki, and now he's going to go back to Asgard and destroy everything and rule? Does that happen? And they're like, no. I'm like, then I'm not watching it, because it's not like, if you're saying that all of that was a trick, he was just messing with them and pretending to be a goof, and then at the end he tricked them all. It was like one massive trick, and he killed everybody, destroyed the Time Bureau, laughed at everybody, saying, I'm the real Loki. And if that happens, I'd be like, oh hell yeah, I'll watch that. But if that doesn't happen, if he has a big epiphany and he cries or something, I'm done. And
he does cry actually.
Yeah, no. So our mutual friend was like, yeah, Jay, don't watch it. That's not what you're thinking. I was like, right, my version's not going to happen, so I'm not watching it.
I watched every single episode of the first season, every single episode of the second season, except for the last one. And for no particular reason, I was like, okay. Then when the last one, by the time it aired, I just didn't care. I'm like, wait, you've watched them all, may as well watch the last one, right? I don't really feel like it.
I didn't watch Ahsoka.
I'll watch any old garbage though. If I watch, I've never done that before. If I went ahead and no matter how much I thought it was lousy, watch a whole season and not watch the last one. But I just don't really.
It's apathy. Jim, I'm with you, Jim. Man, I didn't see Ahsoka. I love Star Wars, but I don't really care. Like, there's no stake in it for me.
I watched 6 out of 8. I watched 6 episodes, and then the last 2, I was like, but then One Piece was on. So I watched One Piece. I was like, well, let me think. I could rewatch all of One Piece again, or I could watch 2 episodes of Ahsoka. I'm like, I'll just rewatch One Piece. I just watched One Piece, and I just rewatched it all again.
You want to revisit some of those moments. It's great.
Yeah. Same here, man. And I think FKH is on to something that she does look like. Magruder does look like Agnes Moorehead from Bewitched.
Yes.
Sort of.
Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie always like irk me, even though I like the shows. I'm like, why? But she can do anything, like do better things.
It's kind of horrifying, actually. Bewitched, because they treat the guy so badly, like they turn him into things all the time, right?
Yeah, it's like, what the heck?
Why,
I would say as a kid, as a little kid, I liked Bewitched more because it was more. They had more
magic.
Yeah, more magic and more monsters in it. As I got older, of course, I was a big Genie
fan.
Oh yeah.
Yes, master.
Yeah.
All right. So this Devilance here took off. Take off, eh?
Take off, eh?
Take off.
But you can't get away from Devilance.
Now we flash back to
buddy. Go Infinity Man.
Oh man, here we go. He's been trapped in this cosmos. He's been trapped in the Kirby Crackle. He's like, I've been trapped in Kirby's Crackle for a long time. I need to find my way out.
Much like Galactus imprisoned the Silver Surfer, Darkseid imprisoned the Infinity Man.
Yep. So he's like, oh, there's Earth. Let me fly around there. Oh, look at all these weird things on Saturn. Scroll, a lot of things. Okay, so this guy lands. Now he's looking for. He's looking to kill the Forever People. He can't be bargained with. He can't be reasoned with. And he has no pity or remorse. He absolutely will not stop until they are dead. So he finds him in this cave, and then this is just like run and fight.
Yes.
Like it's just a chase comic. He went all out on this one. It's like, let's just, I mean, I almost feel like if Forever People had more of this going on there, it seemed like it would have been better. It would have been better overall.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing against it. It's cool. Like this issue's cool because there's a lot of stuff going on. Like there's constant momentum.
I'll say in hindsight, Forever People set up a lot of stuff about the Fourth World. I mean, I think the first Boom Tube is in this, and the relationship between Darkseid and Desaad. A lot of that comes from here, so I mean, it's good for that.
It's definitely way better.
Yeah,
it's way better when you're reading it all.
Yeah.
See, I started reading this just to read. I was like, oh, Jack Kirby reading it. I'm like, yeah, this is the Fourth World thing. And I'm like, okay. This one is sort of that one that's the setting up of all of the stuff, like you're saying, Sean. So it's like, it's the world builder one, which then tends to be kind of boring because once you set it all up, it's like, well, I never need to revisit this again, right? Like, you've put all the pieces on the board now, so what do I care about? So it's an unsung hero, I guess, of this.
They're likable. They're not really as great as characters. This is another problem. And they're fine. I like them okay, but none of them really stand out. I mean, Beautiful Dreamer's lovely and all that stuff, but Big Bear, he's fun, he's cool and all that stuff. I like. There's nothing wrong with any of them, but they're not. Man, they're not Orion level cool or Darkseid, or even Light Ray to an extent. Or, I mean, or some of the other characters, They're not in the class in some of the other, Mr. Miracle and things like that.
Right.
I think like the premise, like, are they not from Apocalypse? I thought they were like teenagers from Apocalypse. They're not, right?
No, they're from New Genesis.
They're from New Genesis, yeah.
Supertown.
Yeah. So they're.
Yeah, I guess I just don't know what they're about. Like, I thought
they're hippies. That's what they were kind of made out to be for the younger.
Yeah, I thought they were like rebelling against Apocalypse. Like they were basically the flower children of the.
They are the flower. Yes, Jack's the flower children of New Genesis, and they were the youngsters.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fine.
Yeah,
they're fine.
Even one of them said at one point was it Big Bear? We need to kill this guy. No, we can't kill him.
We can't kill him.
Yeah, they said we can't kill. Yeah, it's like we can't kill him.
Orion would kill him. So, I mean,
hey, Phil.
Yeah, man, we kill him. Hey, Phil.
Yeah. So anyway, he looks cool. He's got his big weapon. They're fighting now. They did a cool thing here where he blasts and he jumps out of the way, but then Dreamer had made it look like the ground was she used her illusion powers, so he went into this like whatever this is, this globby. And now he's trapped and they're like, okay, well, ping, ping, ping. That's the mother box working. They disappear. He crawls out. He's like, damn it. I gotta get these guys. It's like, he just can't get them. So then he just continues on. I like this, like zoom in of his face here, his mangled face. Now, I like these like big stone, or what am I call Mount Rushmore head guys. Like,
yeah.
It's like, that's cool. Yeah. So they appear here.
That's on Earth. I don't know where the hell that is.
Yeah, I don't know where that is.
Yeah.
So they use the mother box as like sort of a magnet and to like pull his lance away, and then it starts like spinning around and creating a tornado. He's like, then Moonrider's attacking, punching his face. This is a great shot. Actually, no, I really like this Devil Lance guy. He looks pretty neat. Like I think he looks cool.
Yes, he's good baddie.
Maybe I'll get that helmet for
cool
Christmas
baddie.
or something. With that helmet on. So he gets punched here in the face, and he gets punched in the gut here. Look out behind you. So this thing came back to him. They didn't know that. So now he got sucked up into this whirlwind caused by the lance. And then he gets
that's a badass tool right there.
That is cool, yeah. Weapons are always cool. That's one thing that like sometimes it's like you gotta have like some cool weapons. It just feels it's like Skeletor's Havoc staff. Like as a kid, you wanted that staff, right? You're like the He-Man sword or whatever. Now you can't have that anymore. It'd be like, oh, it's a weapon. It's like, all right. So, anyways, so he's got him down here. Let's scroll, and then he turned into like. This is awesome. He got turned into this like statue when he just like clumped through. He used one of his cartridges. These cartridges are the get out of jail free cards, man. Like it's like you guys are dead. Hold on a second. Shit, get out of jail free card. Nope, that's it. Done.
Yeah.
So he puts it back in his hat, and it's like I wonder if Jack planned out each one. Like, did he actually know what was in each one? I guess we won't know.
He probably did. I don't. Yeah, sure.
Why not? We go. So leave him, Seraphan. Come, Big Bear. Let's go. Like eat something. It's like our creed is nonviolence. We cannot kill him. It's like, okay, well, you beat the shit out of him though, and turn him into a statue. But anyway, it's like
he's kind of dead now.
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so meanwhile, Infinity Man is just tired out. The weakness, and then it's gone. I'm getting energized. Whoosh, and he flies up, and then this is cool. Infinity Man's awesome.
You have to say the word.
Yes, he is.
They got to say the word.
The word.
It's not say you. It's Taru.
Say me, Taru.
And he holds up the lance. It's like we're gonna get. We can feel the presence of Infinity Man. Yes, it's me. What's this? Well, this is terrible. Why is it like this?
What the hell is blonde?
That's terrible.
Miller?
All right, so they all touch the box. Taru. Whoosh. Oh man. And then they fight over who has the cooler helmet. So
yes.
Infinity Man's like, you're wearing a helmet, but it's not as cool as mine. It's like, what? How dare you? My helmet is much cooler. You want to fight? Yes. Let this be our final battle. And then they're fighting it out. Now look how cool this thing is, man. It whips, twists around the guy. That's cool.
Yeah. Like,
This is badass, man. What the hell? This guy's like leveling up. He's like, oh, you thought my staff it only does this. Is like I leveled it up when I last fought those guys. I got a level up. I got more XP and I went up a level. And Infinity Man's like, damn it, this weapon's like leveled up. She goes around his legs and everything. Ooh, let's eat patches. I wouldn't get any of these. Bunny?
No. Well, I get the Roadrunner.
There's Roadrunner, yeah. See, I'm trying to look for the license stuff.
I get the Confederate flag that just piss people off.
Yeah.
I mean that way.
Yeah, I'll get this and put it on my forehead or something.
Yeah, look, I mean, hey, Jonah Hex fought, wore it, so that's good enough for me. There's Flash Gordon. And Popeye.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
Shopper Felix.
Popeye, and Woodstock. Yeah. There you go. Cool. And I don't mean the hippies either. The actual real Woodstock.
Oh, the real Woodstock.
Who hangs out with the
little guy on Snoopy's on the top, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right. Back to the fight. It's like, you think you're good? It's like, let's see who does better when we fight in the Kirby Crackle.
And it blows up the whole.
And that's real Crackle. Look, it says it.
Crackle. Yeah, actually Crackle, yeah. It actually blew up.
They should have made a breakfast cereal, Kirby Crackle.
Start your morning off with a crackle.
It'll be the pops, but like the different colors and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be like rice pops or something. It's like,
all
right, and then meanwhile, Desaad, not Desaad. It is Desaad. What am I saying? Darkseid and Desaad, the 2D, double D&D are here. And they're like, Desaad's like, those fools, they're terrible. It's like, I know, but this is their last issue, so let's have them have a last panel where they're walking away and everything's good. It's like, they all walk off into the sun with this weird butterfly.
They walk it off.
They walk it off. That is it. Cap, you came in right for the end of the last issue of the Forever People, at least the last issue that we're going to be covering on this channel.
What's up, Cap?
I didn't vote for the best yet because to me it's like if you think about it, if you were a kid and you got any one of these as your first comic, they're all great. They're all great little self-contained stories. They're all awesome. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, I did vote. That was pretty clear on one I liked the most, but that was a good one. That was an alright one.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah.
I mean, the answer is probably New Gods, but anyways,
That was one.
Yeah,
That's what I voted for.
yeah.
I know what you're going to vote for, Clobby. I'm pretty good. I can figure out the way you're thinking.
Well, man, dude, we'll get to why.
We'll get to it. Yeah, the blue. Let's think of, so that is that one. Next one is actually New Gods. Next one.
New Gods, yeah.
Let's go New Gods.
Goodbye, forever people.
Goodbye, forever people. We'll miss you. New Gods.
Also, goodbye, New Gods, because the
Yes.
next issue doesn't come out to like 6 years later, and it's Return of the New
6
Gods.
years,
And it's not Kirby,
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the last New Gods as well with my buddy, man.
at
The
least for this point, for this time,
yeah.
because it does. Like I said,
I
it started back, but okay.
What's the credits?
Dark Side and Sons is the story. It is, of course, New Gods volume only. I don't care. I don't like that 80s, 90s stuff. Number 11, November 1972. Cover artist Jack Kirby and Mike Royer. Story, art, story, words, pencils, and editing by the great King of Comics, Jack Kirby. Inker, Mike Royer, and letters by Ben Oda.
And like we got the Black Racer, who I love.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, I would love to do a Black Racer. Like I always say like, oh, who'd you pick? Like, give me one of these weird characters that I can really like. I would make it even weirder. Like,
You mean like cosplay?
not as cosplay, as like if I was doing a movie or show or a comic
Oh, yeah.
series or something.
He is an interesting character.
Like, he's really neat. All right, so let's go through this one. This one's like insane, pretty much. So here's the dumbasses of the issue: dumbass A and B and C.
Yes, dumbass commissioner. I mean, you
Like,
don't call Star Labs, or you don't call like some
Right.
big super villain prison type or something. You just
So they
gotta
call-
get locked up.
yeah, they caught Calabac, and then they let him go because I don't know
Reasons.
Hey, Calabac's like, I am a good guy. I won't hurt Earthman. Okay, we'll let you go. It's like, all right, and they just bust through.
Yeah, nice.
Look at this back, man. It's like super like muscular, man.
Calibac.
Now we know why he's calling Cali back. His back is like really. So he just breaks through, crash, and they're just like, pow pow.
Your faith in me is most touching.
Hold your fire. Bullets won't stop him. Besides, I have a strange hunch that he'll keep his word. Well, that's good.
In the sense that he will just go cause a bunch of damage and shit.
Yeah. So Light Ray and Orion are hanging out,
With,
trying to see who can do a better muscle. No, my muscles are bigger. No, mine are.
Yeah. You son of a bitch.
So let me just start breaking shit. It's like, yeah, man, you better put down that statue. The enemy, I see nothing but the enemy. Yeah, well, Dave Lincoln sees an old college athletic award about to be damaged, and he just breaks it anyway.
Yeah, it's like he looked at this statue. He's like, this reminds me of J.J. Abrams, and then he just smashes it.
Well, that's a good reason.
And this guy's like, you're right. It did remind us of him. Well, good thing it's destroyed. It's like,
And in comes Claudia.
I do like randomly attacking.
Jar Jar Abrams always deserves it. So.
Well, he's done. He hasn't he was just outside directing traffic. That's the last thing he's doing.
Yeah, I think the industry is onto him now.
He's got enough money. I feel sorry for that turd.
Yeah, we caught you, buddy. It's like,
yeah, he only had to ruin like 8 different things.
Yeah, it's like, didn't you ruin TV shows, and then you ruined Mission Impossible was the first one you tried to ruin, but they came back from that. So he was really discouraged. He's like, I tried to destroy the Mission Impossible franchise, but then they came back with that fourth movie, which was really awesome.
He ruined Star Wars and Star Trek.
Yeah,
no, that's why he set his sights to bigger. He's like,
those are
listen,
the only ones that'll stay ruined. The other ones, I guess, could be cured. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. They fixed.
Okay. They already fixed it. Mission Impossible movies are filth into me anyway because they're not the TV show. They can go.
They're not. Yeah, no, I know, Clobby.
Yeah, screw those pieces of crap.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Do I have a?
Jim Phelps is no villain.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've had this conversation with J-Man as well. Like you don't know the shows, so like that's the thing. Like shows aren't really celebrated anymore. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't care about Mission Impossible movies. I don't own any of them. I've only seen 1, 2, 3, and 4. I haven't seen anything past 4. I thought 1 was okay.
I hate Tom Cruise. So
It's like,
that one.
I don't like 3.
Yeah,
I think 4 was the best of the ones I've seen.
Like Peter Graves was offered the role in the first movie, and he's like, "What the hell? He's a villain." So
he didn't make him a villain. Yeah.
He didn't do it. And John Voight stepped in, right?
Yeah.
So,
I like John Voight, but I'm disappointed in him doing that.
Yeah. Well, I like Tom Cruise, so I'll watch the other ones.
I would sing my theme. We have lyrics to the Mission Impossible theme for that movie. That first one that I made up back then, but I can't. I don't think you'd want to sing it on your show, but no.
Oh, okay. Not if they're anything. So you know what? A couple of my live streams got partial demonetization.
Why?
Well, they never tell you. It's just so I don't know what we said. I don't know what we said or did to
don't they say? They don't tell you. I thought they tell you like if there's some kind of like a copyright thingy or something like that.
It does. It's not very clear what it is.
Limited. Something I get limited.
Yeah, it's limited. Yeah, it's a limited.
But it does tell you why, or at least mine does. It would say stuff like because of copyright, like CB. If you ran some kind of thing. In other words, I've never, as far as I know, I don't know if they say if you said the bad word or something, but maybe it could be. But they don't tell you.
I don't know. No, I mean they tell you, but it's vague like that. Like, what am I supposed to do? Watch 2.5 hours to figure out what icon I moved?
Oh, they said you said a bad word or something.
I don't remember. I just didn't care. I'm like, I'm not investing because it pissed me off anyways. So
I'm actually just curious about that works because I've never had them say anything. The times I've been limited or whatever, I've never had them say it was because anything to do with anyone said. So that's what I was curious.
Oh, okay. I can.
And once in a while, I've let one fly. Not like all these other shows that do it like constantly, but
yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's just I will look it up because it had there. It's like a yellow. The monetization thing becomes yellow instead of green, and it's like, oh, there's like some problem or something. I'm like, all right, I don't know what the hell I did. I'll see if I can find it on here while we're scrolling. But anyway, so there's Dark Side Desaad. It's like dark. So this is kind of interesting. Like Dark Side. So Calabac and Orion are both sons of Dark Side.
Yes.
And they're half brothers, and Dark Side, you get the feeling that he kind of likes Orion, or whatever. So he kind of wants to help him out a bit. So and then Desaad just doesn't care because he's just insane. This is a great page. It's like stepping on the guy. He blasts the crap out of him.
Dark Side.
So it said here that Dark Side poisoned. Is it Orion's mother? I read
poisoned.
No, Desaad poisoned.
Desaad.
Sully, Calabac's mother.
Oh, Calabac's mother. Okay.
Tigra is Orion's.
Is Orion's mother? Okay.
Yeah.
Sully was his first fling or whatever, and he was forbidden. His mom didn't like it.
Yes.
He had Calabac. Yes.
Desaad do it. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, he's drinking his herbal tea for his. He's got a sore throat. So they're like they get word that Calabac's escaped, and boom, here you go. He just flies right into him and just is like smash. But Calabac's been powered up. He's been in that training room that Goku went into or whatever, and then got his power that way. And now they're just fighting the crap. They're just beating the crap. I love the wrestling moves in this. It's like this flip here, and then he throws him, and then he picks him up. Bam, bam. Look at that, man. Big Bear should have fought Calabac. They have like the same hairstyle.
Yeah.
Who wore it better, Calabac or Big Bear? Like
Calabac.
Calabac. Yeah. Big Bear needs that thing, that frame around his head.
Yeah. So it's weird. I don't think we see Light Ray. What happens to him?
Yeah, we don't
With it.
because it's
No.
like I can't tell. Like it's not. It's just like bam, and you're like, okay, is he dead or like what happened there?
No.
But Orion is not happy, so he's got to go to it. Oh, now we cut to the Black Racer, and this guy's just like he's been in a coma. He's not responsive, but something triggers in his mind. It's time. He gets up, gets his big awesome helmet on, walks through walls, gets his skis. I think I would have the skis like come out of his boot or something. Like it's like they morph out of his boots, and then like he can like morph because I like the idea that like he becomes this thing. Because like did nobody find these skis in the closet or whatever? Like, hey, what are these skis doing here? Anyway, so then he whoosh, flies out. Meanwhile, they're just this. I mean, this is just like a super battle.
Yes. Badass.
Let's just admire it. Like smash.
Wow.
That guy gets like freaking smashed in here. Look at this man. It's like crushing his head. And he blasts him.
Wham. Power.
Through there.
This and more.
Bam. It's like, you survived that, eh?
Iron up pretty bad. I mean, messing up Orion pretty bad right now.
Like, I mean, he's just kicking the shit out of him, really.
He throws a wall on him. Oh.
Yep. I mean, this is crazy. Crash. Look at the wall here. This is like,
right.
Getting nailed.
We don't know what happened to Light Ray at this point.
No, we don't. I don't think we're going to know.
Go back to him.
We never know.
No, it's checking after you said that.
Well, he'll be back. But, I mean, he's not. Well, I'm not spoiling, but he's not.
Yeah, he's not dead. Yeah.
No, he's not dead. But yeah.
But they almost thought he might be at first. But, at least That's
anti-derivative Jill, how's it going?
Hey, Jill.
Anti-derivative Jill.
Hey, I can't. Sometimes I listen in the background because Jill does a lot of streams while I'm at my job, so I'll see it pop up. So sometimes I'll just put it on my phone and just kind of listen to it a little bit in the background. But I can never participate in chats or anything. A lot of these, Loki's the same. Loki, Jill, Mark is too late. Loki starts streaming while I'm in. I have a meeting every morning because I'm part of this team that does stuff or whatever. So it's like every morning we have a meeting when Loki starts. So I never hear Loki. Jill is always during my day job. Mark from Legion of Comics is literally when I'm leaving to go to work. He's so early that like I'm leaving to go. And then Mark is when I'm going to bed.
Which Mark?
So Mark D with a C.
He's only Sunday nights though.
Sunday nights, but I'm going to bed for Monday morning day.
Sure.
So it's like it's always, and then your stream I usually catch up. I usually get the first half until I go to bed or whatever. So it's like
I also lurk, Jill, when I can. I mean, like I'm out on the road or doing something. I can't, you can't really mess with the phone much, but I lurk when you're on when I'm able to.
Yeah, we do. And the problem with the phone is that if you start typing on your phone, people start tagging you, but you can't tag them. You can't tag them back.
I wish you could tag people with the phone thing, so that's why. That's another reason why. Because you don't want to leave anybody out when they so you just kind of just listen. But,
I feel bad.
I lurk at a lot of people that I don't have time to do anything. A lot of people lurk, folks, and sometimes if I'm watching it on my TV in my living room, I'm not signed in because I don't have a way to sign in on that one.
Yeah.
So I'm watching. I can't even click a like. So I don't. That's why I try not to do anything on the big TV. I do it in the back where I can at least give them a like or a phone.
I will have it on the big TV, and I actually signed in on the big TV because some of the movies that I purchased come with digital copies that actually are on my YouTube. So on my YouTube, I have a lot of movies, like a lot of stuff that I buy that's recent. It'll actually go to digital on YouTube. So I actually signed in on YouTube on my TV. I'll watch Transform. Like Hasbro's got that Transformers, all the G1 episodes and G.I. Joe. I watch those on my TV right off of YouTube. Yeah, I mean we own these things, but
you know what? They're HD as well. They're really, really good.
They're pretty good.
They don't commit those to Blu-ray, but
they're pretty good. So a lot of the times I'll just be in the background with stuff like that. Even for Clobby, even if I'm not saying anything, I'll be just listening in the back. But it's tough to on the phone. It sucks that you can't talk to anybody. So I'm like, just let it play. All right. Meanwhile,
Dark
Let me
Side
get my.
watching streaming right now.
Yeah, I was gonna. I should have put our. I'm gonna clip this and put our.
Fourth World Rising.
He's watching our Fourth World reviews.
Yeah, he's watching our Fourth World reviews.
Those idiots. Everyone knows my issue's better than the other one.
I'm gonna say like I can't stand that Sean. It's like he. Who
the hell does he think he is wearing me on his shirt?
Stop wearing me on your shirt. Yeah.
I'll put a thought bubble. Like, think it's like, wow, this stream's awful. Like, they hardly even talk about Fourth World stuff. It's just tangents.
I'll make it be that Sean for wearing my shirt.
Meanwhile, on Apocalypse, Darkseid watches the Fourth World Friday, J-Man's Fourth World Fridays, and then it's like this. It'll be a picture of us. It'll be like, I can't stand this latest Doctor Who episode, and then this guy's thinking they're not even talking about Jack Kirby, and then he's like, damn it, Sean, stop wearing those shirts of me. Maybe I will do that. I'm gonna clip it. Screw it. I sent Eddie from Bearded Shirts one that I did. Remember we did the Legion? We did the Legion one, and we came across that guy it was Ultra Boy holding up his shirt.
Yeah, his shirt. Yeah.
Ultra Boy was the first. That was the first shirt that Eddie had done for Bearded Shirts. So I did a thing for it. I'll try to find it. I'll find it like for later in the stream or whatever. But
show it to us because
I'll show it to you. It was pretty funny. So I actually did make it. I thought, oh, this will be fun to send to him or whatever. But anyways, where's my Legion talk here? All right, so okay.
By the way, I have a new shirt I want to get. No, I better not.
Oh, you need to get one?
No, but there's one I think I just thought of that it would make a great shirt, but then I would want to pay for it. And I can't. But he didn't do that Wildfire one, by the way. Thank goodness, because I would have to have to. So.
Did he? So he didn't do that Wildfire?
No, but I'm better off.
Oh, okay.
Let's continue.
All right. Let's continue on. So that Darkseid's there. Okay, so he's like, I got it. He goes, and now Desaad is like siphoning their like battle energy, or their not their battle energy, their anxiety in battle. It's weird. It's like he's
the emotions of Orion.
Pretty weird, man. He's let's just face it. His name is Desaad,
right?
For a reason. And he is getting. I'm not going to say the word.
But Darkseid is like, oh, I fear for Orion. Like Calabac has these new powers I haven't seen before, and then he tracks it down to here, where Desaad is secretly siphoning energy into Calabac, and Darkseid's like super mad, and he, yes. Well, I was gonna say like Desaad is curious. He's like, basically. Yeah, he's like, well, what's your problem? It's like he's gonna fight. He's gonna fight for the good of Apocalypse, right. And like Darkseid's like, that's not the point here. And then
those are his kids. Those are still both of his sons.
Yeah, it's the kids. Yeah,
it's weird about this Darkseid in that way. He's got this, this sort actually has this in a strange, sick way, since he's a sick, evil piece of garbage. They're still his sons. So
he doesn't.
All these layers, did they go away after Kirby? Because I feel like this is the best I've seen Darkseid written, and it's the actual creator.
Yeah, I think this is the best he's been written. I mean, there were other ones. I'll tell you, without saying the Great Darkness saga, I think Paul Levitz recaptures a lot of that. That's why I love it so much. That shirt you're wearing there has coming from that too, and it really. In my opinion, it's the end of no, it's not Kirby, but it's the end of the Fourth World Saga. I mean, after that, there's nothing after it I care about. This Fourth World. And it was, although technically it was done before they finished it with Hunger Dogs. But other than that, it's in the future. So, to me, that's the ultimate cap to the Darkseid story, just for me. And I guess part of it's my Legion bias. But also, it's almost like, and Kirby was alive, of course. I don't know if Levitz, I don't know what Kirby thought of it or anything. I don't know. But to me, it feels like that's the great capstone for the Fourth World for me.
Right. Yeah.
The way, without spoiling anything, because of things that go on with Darkseid.
Right.
In that one.
So. Right. Okay. I did find the limited. I found the why it's. I'll talk to you about it afterwards. But here's the ad.
Yeah.
Isn't that? It's just random. I just did a random thing for him. It's just super funny.
I love it.
I got this from Beer.
As soon as he saw that, yeah, he's smiling. He has the hanger and all that.
Yeah, he's got the hanger and all that. Oh my god. So the Sod gets killed, right?
Yeah,
I don't know what else they do with this.
He got him, man. He just said, you know, the dark side doesn't play around.
Yeah, he's like, you've been being a dick this entire time. I'm sick and tired of this bullshit. And he just fried him. Omega beamed his ass.
Wiped him out of existence. Almost like he never existed in a sense.
Yeah.
Erased from existence. And this is what you are now, this puddle of poo on the floor. All right. Meantime, Orion's getting up. Calabac is up. They just go right back at it.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it didn't even waste, not even one panel wasted. They just got right back up. So now we got the Black Racer. Now he's coming for someone. He's basically like Death, right? So he's coming for somebody, and you're not sure who he's coming from, or I mean, I guess if you're reading this when it came out, you're not sure who he's coming from, but you're pretty sure who he's coming from now, reading it today. But they're fighting, more patches, more dots. Here, sorry, that's an old reference. Here he comes. He's coming forward. He's got the skis pointed, and wait a minute.
That would be Orion.
He thought it'd be Orion, but it was Calabac.
Calibuck. That was
And then it's
Calibuck.
like
Coming up next,
Commandy with the same gun. That's the gun that. Hey, that's the gun.
Ads for other Kirby
stuff.
books in there.
Look, see this gun? Is that the same gun?
That looks way different.
Like that gun was going to do.
That looks way different than this.
Oh yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's
The thing is that's a different perspective. It just looks like a regular like pistol there, but
yeah. All right. And there's if you're player 2, then that's the Orion you get.
Yeah, they're right.
That's the player 2 Orion. It's a Street Fighter thing. Player 2.
Yeah, it's like why is Punisher orange or whatever? It's like,
it's like you get like a weird. I think player 2 for Punisher though you were like blue
you were
or
Fury.
Oh, you were Nick Fury for player 2 for that game. That's right.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was a cool arcade. That Spider-Man, all those Marvel ones were cool.
Yeah. That's an awesome one. Mr. Miracle. Numero. How do you say 11 again?
Mm-hmm.
In French, how do you say 11?
I can't remember.
Set. These owns. It's owns. Yeah. Owns, douze, tres, quatorze, quinze.
Yeah. Okay.
Owns, I think.
Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins. Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Wow. Yes.
Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, I was saying more dots. All of that is from those video games. So there's the guy who's like, minus 50 DKPS. I used to have that. But it has a swear word. That's an effing minus DKPS.
Yeah.
And the other guy is Leroy Jenkins.
When I mean slow, I mean effing slow.
He goes, and when I say slowly, I mean effing slowly. And then it's like, who the F cast fear? It's like a guy directing a World of Warcraft team to attack this monster or base or something. So he's the guy. It's like a bunch of players. Like there's like 15 of them. They're all playing together. I'm like, okay, let's go storm this base. He's like, okay, you guys go left, you guys go right. And then it's like, okay, you guys do this, that. And then it's like, who the F cast fear? You're not supposed to F and cast. And he's like losing his mind over it. Yeah. It's so funny. But Leroy Jenkins is where they had this big plan. It's like these guys are all together and they're planning this out in this video game. And then he just starts running. He's like, Leroy Jenkins, and he just runs off and screws up the entire plan.
They all die, yeah.
They all die. And they're like, "Oh, Leroy, man, what the hell?" Like,
I thought that was revealed to be fake. Like, was it fake?
It could be fake. I don't know, but I mean, it's fake in the sense that it was just scripted, but it happened. Like, they all died.
Yeah, no, it was script. It was like, I don't know if it was scripted or not, but it was accused to be. But of course, it was famously a Jeopardy question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'll tell you this right now. It's like, okay, so I'll tell you the Clobberin, I'll tell you the streaming thing. It says limited. This video, and it was a Fourth World number 9. It was the 2 week, not last week's Fourth World, but the week before. This video may earn limited or no ad revenue due to identified as not suitable for most advertisers. We use a combination of automated systems and human reviews to detect violations of advertiser-friendly content.
Wow, on a Fourth World stream? I mean,
yeah, what the hell did we do?
Tame, aren't we? I mean, on Friday nights. I mean, I guess could have been a slip. I could have said something bad and blame me just for anyway. But I mean, I don't know.
I don't think so. I'd probably blame me. All right. Let's go, Mr. Miracle, the super escape artist.
Okie dokie. The Greatest Show Off Earth is the title of this story. Mr. Miracle, volume only. Number 11, December 1972. Cover artist, of course, the Jack King Kirby. Writer and penciler and editor, of course, the king himself, the king of comics, Jack Kirby. Inks and letters by the great Mike Royer. And again, there you go.
All right.
Number 11. This is an 11 week. I'm at 11, and only since I was born on an 11th. But by the way, Jay, I sent you a picture of what I would. That was the one I want most of an all over shirt.
So I'll tell him. I'll tell Eddie.
No, don't, because I'll spend money on it. But I mean, no.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
All he's done, that is one of the. I mean, of course, I love the great. He's done other great Dark Saga stuff, but that splash page, dude.
Oh, that is.
I don't know how it would look. I mean, but he could get a good scan of it, though.
Yeah, you could probably. Oh, yeah, you could probably find a good scan of that. That is awesome,
dude. It's just the conclusion is inescapable, my friends. We face Dark Side.
Yes.
The epic conclusion of the great Dark Saga, dedicated to Jack Kirby, with respect and thanks. That's to me the end of the proper end of the Fourth World. But anyway, we're not to the end of it yet here. So.
All right. So this one starts off. So they're back now, and this is now Ted, not the teddy bear, which I didn't like those movies. But this is Ted, who is the son of the original Mr. Miracle, who was. Who's the real? I don't want to say real Mr. Miracle, but he was Mr. Miracle before.
Yes. Scott.
Monsieur Scott. There's Barda holding up this thing. So this is all revealed slowly. So we got a guy filming here. Oberyn's the best. He's always nervous about everything, which is great.
Yeah.
Barda's holding up this pole here, the maypole, and she's going to put the pole in here. No, okay, never mind. They didn't scan it together? That sucks. So you're going to have to kind of visualize this. So she's holding it up. It's going straight, and then over here's the next page. So that's where this should be one page together, but they didn't scan it that way. They scanned it separately.
Yeah, they do that on that one you're using, I guess, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes they don't, though, because they didn't do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't do it on the last one we had.
Yeah, the one I was reading on didn't do that in mine.
Yeah. Anyway, so so this is a great page.
Oh my God! It's what a great big 2 straight page spread. Classic.
Yeah, this is awesome.
One of the top ones.
So this is actually wicked. So they've got this vat here. And they light it on fire. So there's like some gasoline or whatever. They ignite it, so it's flaming. And now Lash woman, what's her name?
Lashina.
She. So Barda's holding the thing up and then plugs it into this hole here. And Scott is on top of this standing, locked up in this thing. And then she puts his hands are there. And then Bernadette ignites the flames. Sheena whips the thing, breaks it, and it starts to teeter. So it's going to teeter. And he's got to escape before it breaks off, and then Stompa like just stomps it. And now it starts to fall. And fall. Whoosh. Holy shit, the guy's dead. What the heck? And they're like, oh, and they're all running to help him. And he's like swinging on this thing. He's like, yeah, I escaped. And I love how he says, sorry about that, Barda, but you kept your eye on the fire instead of me. She's like, nonsense. My eyes never left you. And then he jumps down like a boss. And then, here come the animates. I made a character like this when I was in, I can't remember what grade. It was maybe it was grade 9. I made a character called Image. And this is, I think this is before Image Comics came out. And he was made of he's like glass, and if he captures your reflection in him, then he can become you.
Nice.
So yeah, that was the character. So what it was that he was all glass though, like this, but no pants, and he had a red cloak and a red hood. And yeah, I think I wrote I submitted this in class. I had a teacher. I forget. Maybe it was grade 6 teacher though. No, not grade 6. I'm sorry. No, it wasn't grade 6. It was like grade 10, I think. And he was awesome. I wrote this epic. So we would do short stories. I love short stories. So I wrote this awesome story about this guy going on a quest and whatever, So he came back to me and he talked to me after school. He's like, listen, he's like, your spelling and your grammar, he goes, are really not good. He's like, so my entire story was red. He corrected and it was like 3 or 4 pages. It was all red marked. And at the end, I got an 80%.
Wow.
And I'm like, that can't be right. So he's like, I want to talk to you about your mark. He's like, I'm giving you 80%. And this is crazy. This is a true story. I don't even know if Sean knows this. And I've got this to show. I've got this paper still. So the teacher said, he called me after. He's like, listen, he goes, the spelling and grammar, this is an English class. It's terrible. He goes, I still gave you, I think he gave me an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. I think it was 8 out of 10. And he's like, I gave you an 80% mark because the story was awesome. And he's like, and I didn't want to give you a low mark to discourage you from continuing to write stuff.
Right.
And to this day, my spelling and grammar are still garbage because Sean corrects everything.
I marked the shit out of them.
Yeah, Sean corrects my stuff.
Like Claude, he does it to me.
Yeah, no, but I mean, this was a great teacher. To do that, he goes because everyone else. He goes to tell you the truth. Everyone else's story was awful.
Yeah.
He goes, they're all terrible. And he was like, he was a teacher where we made some movies. We'd made movies. Sean saw them. We made movies in high school, and he loved them. And then we weren't even in his class. And he's like, I heard you guys made a sequel to your last movie. He's like, I want to show it in my class. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's like, it was so cool. It's like he would show our movies to other classes that we weren't even in.
Nice.
What an awesome teacher.
Sounds like a cool dude.
Yeah, he was really cool. So, of course, that'll never happen again to anybody.
What grade was that?
I think it was 10. I'd have to ask Jay, my other buddy Jay. He would remember. Yeah. He might remember the thing. But all right. So this is so cool. The animates. Remember what happens with them?
Yeah, I like the animates.
They become
Dr. Bedlam.
Dr. Bedlam. I'm getting that stripe down my forehead. I should have did it today.
Yeah.
Damn! I would have just taken a piece of black tape and put it down.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, I did a widow's peak. I used to do a Submariner video, and I did my hair like Submariner. I did the widow's peak when I had longer hair. It was pretty cool. And I digitally made my ears pointy.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Anyway, so here comes Dr. Bedlam. Dun, 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 and then they brought this is cool. They got this big UFO thing here. Oberyn's like, I've got to shave. So then he sees his face. He's like, whoa, what happened there? And he's like so scared. It's like, wait a minute. More guys are attacking. This is what happened last time. This is weird. It's like it looks like Etrigan a bit, but like
yes, sort of. Weird way, yeah.
Like, oh, like a very deformed. He's like, oh, I can't get it out of my mind. And here comes Scott Free. He's like, Oberyn, snap out of it, buddy. You're not on. Like his face is on fire. That's scary. Yeah. Imagine you thought your face was on fire. Shit.
Yes.
Look at this. Look at this bastard. It's like, and he's like, no, don't think about it. Don't think about it. It's not there. Now Ted doesn't really understand like what's going on because
he doesn't know all the kind of crap they've been dealing with lately.
Yeah, it's like, look, Oberon, his face is pale as a ghost. Like, I know what's going on here. Here come these a-holes through the window. Look at these guys through the window. My God.
Through the window.
Whoosh. Wham. He runs underneath him. That's cool. He kicked him in his butt.
Kicks him in the butt, yeah.
I like how even the little guys are like super beefed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oberon's little tough little dude.
He is tough. Although he just got smashed here. Oh man. Once Big Barda comes in, it's over.
Yeah.
And then it's, right, like, and then it's just the Lashina and all these other the Furies. They just kick the shit out of all these ass wipes.
Yeah, Stompa.
Look at all these guys. What the heck? Oh, she just smashed them all. Flips them over. No, you don't. Look out, Stompa. Speow. What? Oh no. He hit my mother box shoulder. Now I'm pissed off.
I love it. I love that. Well, I was about to say I love it. I was about to blow the ending, but no.
Yeah, so he smashes through, and now he's like, man on a mission. Where is he? There he is. He's probably in that contraption.
That's a UFO.
That's an unidentified flying object.
It's a Jerry Anderson UFO.
It's not flying right now, but
that's an unidentified parked object.
Yeah.
UPO.
Yeah.
An unidentified parked.
I can't believe no one's used that in a movie.
I made that up just now.
A UPO.
I literally just made that up just now.
On Briscoe, they had a UFO. It was an unearthed foreign object.
Yes. Oh, that's cool.
Because they dug it out from the ground.
You know what was cool in Godzilla where they called it heat ray because atomic would not have been a term that they would have been
we didn't have
using.
atomic fire that we later named it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's such a good detail.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember in the theater, I'm like, why are they calling it heat ray? That's dumb. Like, oh, wait a minute. They wouldn't be calling it that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody put thought in that movie. I was really shocked. I was like, wait a minute, somebody thought something out. What happened? That's weird.
Someone wrote this in a world that,
wow,
created a world out of technique and art.
Yes.
Everybody's caught on to Sean's video because everyone is now saying, wait a minute, was this only $15 million? Everyone, like, they can't wrap their minds around it.
No.
Literally, I was on Legion of Comics stream talking about it. Like, people, like, no, this is, I know we're being funny, but they legitimately couldn't wrap their brain. They're like, wait, how is this $15 million? This can't
It's because it's 15 USD. And the thing is, in Japan, it's expensive, but it's like, they can achieve this much with that much money like American money. Yeah.
And it made so far 40-something million US.
They keep extending the showtimes too.
They did extend it. They did extend it.
The problem is there's a contract. Supposedly, the rumor is there's a contract where Toho can release Godzilla movies in years that the American ones are not there. So because there's an American one coming out next year, it can't go past the end of December
this year.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
But all they need is this month. If they should have the whole month at least.
They should have the whole month.
They'll have it.
They'll clean up at Christmas.
They'll have it here. So Steve hasn't seen it. I'm wondering if I should go again with Steve and let him have an opportunity because Owen from the Action Elite, he went on his own with his brother and he went to go see it. So because we were all supposed to go together and none of the schedules aligned. So maybe I'll go with Steve on just me and him.
I might go again soon for the month.
But all right, so he enters the UPO. It's like, I see you've entered my UPO. Joe Dog, what's going on?
What's up, dude?
So
it's like, so he's like, I see you've entered my unidentified parked object. It's like, yes, we're here. And then I mean, like, look, he's not messing around here. Like, this is all a bunch of. Yeah, let's end this chit chat.
Begin the game of death.
It's like Game of Death. That's that Bruce Lee movie where they edited him out.
True.
So, okay, stop it. I'm here. We are here all night, folks. Please.
I'm still here, Mr. Miracle. Not in body, but in mind.
It's like, hey, he literally punched the life out of him because, like, it's like the opening into the ship has been sealed. It's rising. Now it's an unidentified flying.
Really does look like one from UFO.
Yeah. Bam, 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 whack. I've got to brace myself.
Bam, whack.
So now he's just he's throwing him through the crackle, dropping him into storms and blowing shit up, gas coming in, ricocheting off planets. Like, I mean, this thing's just put to the ringer here. Now it's flying towards this like moon. It's like, ha 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 ha. It's like, so you've returned to inhabit the animate once again. Hey, Dr. Bedlam, perhaps to gloat at my dismal finish. It's like, it shall be spectacular, dear boy. It's like when he gets a haircut that he just take a centimeter off this bit right here.
Yeah, just enough,
Just one finger length over. One finger width. Anyways, so yeah, so he's like, oh, you thought I only had one mother box? Hey, shit, you've got another mother box, and now it's ping, 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 ping. It's weaving this is weird. It's weaving an electro web of microcosmic atoms all about me. I can't break it. It's like, oh, okay.
You can't escape the shell or anything anymore.
And then this is falling down, 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 and it explodes. So I guess, is Bedlam dead, or do you think he got out?
That was just an animated, but yeah, I think he got out. His mind got out.
His mind got out, right? So his mind wasn't trapped in that thing, right?
Yepper.
And they're like, holy shit, that was an awesome explosion. And then out of that explosion comes Mr. Miracle. And she's like, oh my God, you've escaped and you're even more handsome. Holy shit, buddy. This is going to make a great movie. He pulls off his mask.
That. He's got that extra mother box.
Yeah, the little circuitry in his mask or whatever.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Oh my God. And then Miss Mistovac.
Let's all pose here. Dun.
Miss Havoc. Yes, Miss Havoc. Yeah.
Miss Havoc.
What the hell?
Miss Havoc.
Yes, sir.
Well, we went because these were the last issues. Kirby's like, let's just have all fighting. So we just like devoured these comics. Like, I read all of these back to back in one sitting, pretty much. Like, it was just so fast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I got home very late, but I finished up just before we started.
And I think the last one, the next one's, hold on a second.
So I know what you want to do here. So it's Mr. Miracle 13, 14, 15, then 16, 17, 18.
Yeah.
So Even Gods Must Die and Hunger Dogs. Now, Even Gods Must Die is 48 pages. Hunger Dogs is 64 pages. So they're like bigger ones. Okay,
so hold on a second. Well, the next stream we could do 4 Mr. Miracles.
Okay.
Because yeah, so let's do 12, 13, 14, 15 Mr. Miracle.
Okay.
Then how many pages was that New Gods special thing?
So the first one, Even Gods Must Die, is 48 pages.
Whoa.
And then Hunger Dogs is 64 pages.
Oh, so hold on a second then.
I thought you were going to do 4 Mr. Miracle, then 3 Mr. Miracle. Wait.
Yeah, okay.
2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. Up to like Mr. Miracle 18. And then I don't know if you want to do Even Gods Must Die and Hunger Dogs at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Clobby? Can we do so? We might need some time because if that one, the first one was what? How many pages? 60 and 48.
The first one is 48, and the next one.
What's that one called again?
4. Yeah.
What's that one called again? That first one?
Even Gods Must Die. It's from the it's the tie-up of the reprint.
Yeah, isn't that just the last issue of the reprint series, like number 6?
Yeah, and it's number 6. That story is 48 pages.
Okay.
So that number 6 is 48 pages?
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting from this. Yeah.
Yeah, I have it somewhere, but I'm trying to remember. I bought them all. It was like 6 of them, but the 6 was, the first 5 are reprints.
Let's take a look at it. Okay, so next time we're going to do the 4 Mr. Miracles. That's easy. Just do the next 4 Mr. Miracles.
That's 3 after that.
And then after that, we'll figure out. But let's take a look since we're here. So what is that one on here? I remember it would be called.
It's New Gods Volume 2, number 6, I think.
New Gods.
Yeah, 1984, they reprinted. They had 6 issues, and they were in a Baxter high quality format series. In number 6, the issue number 6, Jack Kirby's all new conclusion to the immortal saga of the New Gods at last. A fury-filled cosmic battle, even gods must die.
Okay, so it's volume 2, number 6. All right, let's take a look.
Dark Side and Sun.
To be honest, the 48 pages looks like a quick read.
Some of it's reprints, though. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, but that 48 pages from number 6 is brand new.
Number 11 in it.
It dovetails into
Yeah, see, look, this is a reprint.
Even New Gods Must Die, though. Yeah, it has one we just did. 11.
Yeah,
it has that, right? Then it has a new story in the final analysis.
Yeah,
this is where it
J-Man is 48 pages, but what I'm saying is it's a quick read.
It's a quick read, and I believe this is the start of it.
Yeah,
this looks new to me.
48 pages of the new stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so this is 48, but it is
stuff.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I'm looking at that too. So yeah.
Okay, so you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the 4. Let's do the 4 Mr. Miracles, and then the next one we'll do the 3 Mr. Miracles and this.
Okay. And then we'll do Hunger Dogs as
Hunger Dogs is its own complete, and that'll be the conclusion. That'll be the last stream we do for this. We're gonna just do Hunger Dogs.
And we'll have final thoughts on
final thoughts,
World, and all that. Yeah.
Yes. Does that sound good?
Sure. So we're looking at how many more shows?
Yeah.
3 more.
3 more.
Okay. Wait a minute. Didn't you say we're doing the rest of the Kirby run of Mr. Miracle?
Yeah.
And there are how many? There are
7 left.
Yeah, okay, so that's going to be 2 weeks, right?
Yep.
Then the 3rd week we're going to do that 48 pager, and then Hunger Dogs.
No. I'm gonna say the next one's 4 Mr. Miracles. The one after that will be 3 Mr. Miracles and that 48 page because
good. And then Hunger Dogs.
And then Hunger Dogs on its own because we can't fit that in. And that's good. That actually works out because we could just have like a one final.
Okay, yeah, I hear you.
And then that actually takes us, and then we'll take a break. And then in January, we can start with Frank Miller's Daredevil. So we take a break that week. The week after is the week of the holiday, the Christmas holiday. So we take a break. Okay. That actually works out. So we got 15th, 22nd. Sorry, what's today? Today's 8th. Oh, no, 29th. Okay, no, 29th. Yeah, sorry. Are you guys okay for the 29th? Is that?
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm doing on 29th.
So
I'll keep it. Let's see. 29th is a Friday after Christmas.
Friday, yeah.
So
I'm good as far as I know. I doubt I'll be going anywhere, but you know how it goes.
Yeah, 15th, 22nd, and 29th. So
yeah, are you good for those? Is the 22nd problematic for anybody? I mean, I should be okay.
I think I'm good as far as I know. I don't see anything problematic.
I don't celebrate anything, so I'm good.
Yeah, I hate everything.
Christmas is the worst, man. It's like planning for everything, disappointing people, obligations. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah.
I love it for some reason, but I hear you.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think that'll work.
Yes, he fought Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes.
Have you seen the Street Fighter? If you're famous scene which he kills a man, were you talking about Street Fighter with Sonny Chiba? Have you seen the Street Fighter from 1974, the famous scene in which he kills a man trying to forcefully? Yeah, I mean, I saw those first two movies 100 years ago. I don't
a
own
lot
them.
of people in that movie, so I can't. I saw it just recently too.
Mistovac, yeah, sounds like misfire. Yeah, misfire. Oh, that's good. Well, I've been. We can. I mean, we finished so early. Is there anything else that like Fourth World related that we can mention just in general? Like so far, okay. So this is the end of New Gods, Forever People, and Jimmy Olsen ended already. So we're basically now just in Mr. Miracle territory. I'm sad to see. Like I really like Black Racer. I would have liked to have seen him a bit more. What happened? How come these titles all ended? Was it just like I was gonna say ratings? Was it just sales, or like was there something else going on? Do you know, Clobby?
Yeah. It was he was having some disputes with DC at the time. Some of the way he didn't like a lot of the things that were going on, and he was still obligated to do some series for them. And they were kind of the sales weren't that great. I mean, they were like, let's see, this book was let's see, the books that got canceled were bi-monthly, and they weren't really doing that well. And they were so they said do something else. So that's why he started doing something else like Commandy and the Demon and such. So yeah, it really kind of just boiled down to Mr. Miracle. Limped along for a while, but they canceled both of these books, and just as they canceled Jimmy Olsen, so they weren't particularly happy with them, and they weren't. I mean, I think they did okay, but they were expecting something crazy, and them to catch on. And I mean, the thing is, obviously, they're older readers who had loved Kirby stuff at Marvel. We're into it,
right?
But it still wasn't Superman or Batman or any of their big stuff, any of their big characters.
Right, but then how did Commandy lasted a long time?
It had a pretty good run. It was mostly that science fiction story of it. I don't know, but it did very well. It did pretty well. At least it lasted. He stayed on the book like on and off until like the issue 30s or 40s, like that. But it lasted slightly beyond that. But I don't know. I mean, I can't really tell you. Demon didn't last that long.
Yeah.
Then he did other books, but the only one the one that did have the longest legs was Commandy. And I think again, it just none of them were. I don't know. It's just tough to compete with the bigger characters. And remember, it was a flooded ass market at that point. Marvel and DC had their main big sellers on the racks, creating a new character and making him stick. At that time, I don't even care if it's Kirby or whomever, it very rarely happened. All the big guys Marvel, the big guys for the DC characters, obviously maintained the biggest sales. There aren't too many series that were introduced around that time that did last for very long. That last, in fact, if you boil it down, if you look at some of the series that lasted at that point, that started, in the 60s or so, just for example, or before that, anything 60s and before Marvel was big, didn't last all that long. Every single new thing both big two tried in the 70s, very few of them lasted anywhere close to, like, for example, Spider-Man or Fantastic Four or the Superman Batman titles or any of that kind of stuff. They were okay, and some of them were really good, but it was still just the big guys with the big names that made it. But they tried to make new stuff all the time, and to varying degrees, they didn't stick.
When is the DC explosion? Is that mid 70s or?
It's in the mid 70s.
Okay.
It's in fact you're very close to it, right up, not mid, somewhere around. This is where we're at. We're in 72 right now.
Okay.
Somewhere in the next couple of years, if I'm very ballparking it, and then as the implosion was not far behind.
Yes. Yeah. Huh.
So these comics, again, when you only hear about them being called classics, it's because critics and fans love them, and they had their fan bases, but the publishers are.
Yeah.
Only the big guys, and I mean the big guys in terms of characters,
right,
are the ones with longer lasting series. Every time they tried something else, look how many titles in this Bronze Age in particular that had runs of, runs of at the most 30 some odd issues, 40 some odd issues,
right,
50, but rarely like the guys who went up with 200, 300, 400,
right.
So
Yeah.
you have to be the big name for that.
Well, today nothing lasts. I mean, they have rebooted So, and if you go to this website and you look at some of these things, like even if you just pick, like I don't know,
in the revivals, like, well, that's a Black Racer thing that was done recently.
Yeah,
but,
I was just looking at that, but I want to see
they brought back Forever People and the New Gods and all that other. The fourth, they had one called Kirby's Fourth World. None of those series lasted super long.
No, and like let's take Deadpool, who's very popular and very liked, especially for the movies. And look at how many times this is bloody. So volume 1 was 4 issues. Volume 2 was 4 issues. Volume 3 that lasted.
Yeah.
69 issues. So that's pretty good. But then after that, it's abysmal.
I know. But it's worse when you look at like Miss Marvel or Shang-Chi. I don't know how many times I've seen number 1. I bought number 1 years ago, and then they keep coming out with a new number 1 all the time.
Look, they're volume 9 of Deadpool.
Yeah.
You want to say Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi started at Marvel's Special Edition number 15. Didn't even have a number 1. So, I mean...
Yeah, but I'm talking about the newer comics that we're trying to tie into the movie.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so look, they just started one in 2021, and then it's done. 12 issues.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And look, at 2021, in 2020, he had 5 issues, and then they did another volume of that.
But the one from the 70s, the one from the 70s, which started in Marvel Special Edition 15 or something, and they just picked up the numbering, it still went for over 100 issues.
Deadly Hands of Kung Fu.
Yeah, Deadly Hands was the magazine. This was his Master of Kung Fu.
Master of Kung Fu. That's
yeah.
Which was such a great comic. I mean, for a good long time anyway.
Those are cool. Like, I mean, even Tomb of Dracula, I think was 75 issues.
70-something issues, right? 70, I think, something like that. With some annuals. Yeah. With some annuals, roughly. So yeah, 125 issues right there. There you go.
Wow.
And
these are so cool.
Yeah, and that's a lot.
They went back to legacy numbering for this trash.
Rom had 70. Yeah, Rom had like 75 issues or something. Rom and some annuals. But it just goes to show you. Superman, Batman, the Flash, Green Lantern, Justice League, things like that. Spider-Man, Hulk, Thor, even, but they all started another books or FF or Avengers. Those are the ones that, if they hadn't changed the numbering on it, would have, they have legacy numbering up in the thousands, some of them, right? But not many other titles. Not many other titles do. If you really were to boil it down, to a lot of characters just started and just didn't make it. It wasn't easy to start up anew, but they tried because look at that, the polka dot man. Yeah.
The polka dot
man.
Polka dot man. Let's beat up the polka dot man. He's a criminal and a scumbag and so much more.
I like the Tin-Eyed Man.
You know what I didn't know, and you didn't know. I didn't know that. So I started reading Star Spangled Comics just because. Yeah. And then I saw Robin because I downloaded them all. And as I saw Robin, I was like, oh, Robin's in this. It's like, oh, Robin has solo adventures. That's what the archive collection was like. Oh, hell yes. So I started reading those. They're awesome.
Nice.
I love Robin. And like I was like, I got to get these archive collections. Like, I don't know why these archives now are so hard to get. Like you figure like people don't care. Like, does anyone really care about Star Spangled Comics? Robin's solo adventures, like really, like
I don't know about now, but when it comes to eBay, man, that was where I used to get a bunch of archive dirt cheap because back when those were coming out hot and heavy. Now again, this may be it's dried up, but every professional got comped everything back then. So I used to. Bo Smith was a writer for a couple different DC books and stuff, and so was Larry, and Larry Hama even used to sell their archives and masterwork comps.
Wow,
pretty cheap. I used to buy them from them. In fact, that's how I got a lot of my archive. And again, when I say cheap, I mean those books were like $40, $50, and they sell cheap for like $20 online or something. Of course, now I've seen them even cheaper in some places.
Is this the first appearance of Polka Dot Man?
It could well be. I don't know.
But yeah, those archives, I mean, I wish I was getting them when you were getting them at that cheap price, because they're like super expensive now.
Sometimes at Ollie's, I mean, I've seen them for like $8. Archives, $8-9. It's insane.
Yeah. Probably Lost the Wheel and Joker Got Away. I remember that one.
The version I remember is Joker Took Ballet, but
really, wow.
I've heard both. I've heard Joker Took Ballet and Joker Got Away.
Yeah.
Superman and Planet Z.
Wow, this issue of Detective Comics is a banger.
I know, it's like Aquaman.
Jesus Christ, it's like, oh my god.
That last,
Ramona, or is that Ramona
Martian Manhunter?
The last Mr. Miracle review, by the way, had a letter in it from a guy I knew that lived where I live. Weird.
Oh, hey,
he
was called John Jones, Manhunter from Mars. That's cool.
That's cool. Early detectives. I don't think that's his first appearance, but it's close to it, probably.
Oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, I love John
Wow,
Jones.
I got to get this one. I got to get that. If that's the first polka dot man, let's see.
I don't know. Could be.
Polka dot man.
I'm sure James Gunn has that issue.
For sure. Let's see, polka dot man. Yep, DC 300.
Wow.
Is it really?
Wow. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's take a look at our poll too. So, question of the day: which one was the best? Forever People got 22%, New Gods got 33%, and Mr. Miracle got 44%.
Wow. Okay.
So I'll keep it
They're
over
all
for a
good.
bit more.
There you go. They're all nice top stuff. So there you go. Yeah.
So I got the Aquaman tickets for today. It's 3D, which I despise. So I'm actually, here's what I'm going to do. I got the tickets just to make sure we have them.
Yeah.
But if a better time or showing that's not 3D comes up, I'll change them.
Yeah.
So for now, we'll do that. Oh, hot takes.
Hot takes. Hello, hot takes.
Nerd man, what's going on? You love Martian Manhunter. I actually wrote a script, Origin Weekend. Oh, what do you know? We're talking about Fourth World, Jack Kirby's Fourth World. So Dark Side, Desaad, and all that.
Yeah. Our weekly review.
It is weekly, but what happened was that we finished it so quickly that we'd start to just look at random stuff. So this is the first appearance of Polka Dot Man, so we're just looking at that for randomness.
Oh man, you talked about Rob Solo stories. I of course I don't know if I have any of those reprints you're talking about, but I remember when I first bought my first issue of Batman Family, like around 74, 5, whatever it was. I couldn't believe it. It had a Grail cover. It was #1, and it had a a Robin and Batgirl story. And I was thrilled to death that there was a Robin story. I mean, I love Batman, of course, but I was thrilled,
Right.
They were getting, they were having an adventure. At that time, it was a big deal to me. I'm like, a Robin kind of issue. And of course, so in Batman Family, they did it all the time. And a lot of times he was teaming up with a Batgirl.
Oh, man, and I started to think how great it would be. I'd love to make a cartoon called the Star Spangled Cartoon, and I'd have the Star Spangled Kid segment. I'd have a Robin segment, a Liberty Bell segment, and maybe Robot Man, and have it be like a 1 hour show, and each character gets like 11 minutes or whatever it works out to, right?
I just love it.
That'd be the best. So Black Racer. So what is? I was looking up Black Racer because I don't know why I just got taken into this character so much. I wanted to look and see. Did you ever read this, Clobby? Was this any good?
No, I never bought this one. This is something that came out a couple years back when was Jack's 100th birthday.
Yeah.
Celebration, and they did a Commandy book where they had different artists.
I bought that.
Things. I bought a couple of those. So they did some Kirby tribute books, and they basically took some of his characters, and I didn't really buy much of it. In fact, I think I may have bought a couple of the Commandy books, but I did not buy this one or anything of the other ones. So I don't know if this is. I didn't buy the Mr. Miracle one either. If they did one,
I didn't get that, but I mean, but he's in his proper costume because Black Racer last time we looked had that weird costume. He didn't look like the Black Racer. And so I don't know if this is any good or not, but the guy's there in the coma and stuff.
Take place during that right time period. So
yeah, like he's in the coma. This is awesome.
Who did this? Dennis Cowan?
I have no idea.
Probably is.
What are we looking at?
Yeah, Cowan's one of them. He probably wrote it. I know the art looks sort of like his too. So Bill Sienkiewicz probably just did the covers. It doesn't say who did the. I'd have to see the credits for the art, but It almost looks like Dennis Cowan inked by Sienkiewicz or something, but I guess it could be Sienkiewicz. Hadn't seen him. His style's gotten weird lately. But either way, yeah, so Dennis Cowan, of course, who created most of the Milestone universe.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And
I picked up every when they just brought Milestone back last year or whatever. I grabbed all of the issues.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was okay. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the only one I liked was Icon, from the original. The new stuff, I didn't like any of the new stories they're making. They're biting off a lot more than they can chew.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Nerd Man, that you're able to find some sort of help through comic book characters. That's cool.
That's right.
I saw Wonder Woman anime cartoon, read the Martian Manhunter comic, and started getting online arguments how the film about them couldn't be made, so I just casually started writing again.
Cool.
Yeah, just keep going. It was some of the best shit I've ever written. That's awesome. That's good. Yeah, we talked about this. Like, people say, oh, it's just a movie or it's just a comic or it's just a whatever. But then you can just say anything. Oh, it's just a book. It's just a song. It's just a T-shirt. It's just a.
It means a lot more to people.
It's like it could be just. It's just a game. You could say, oh, like, oh, football. Well, it's just a game. Who cares? It's just anything to anybody. I mean, this is what we talked about before.
Humanity, apart from animals, is our ability to believe in fiction. That's
but there's like a skunk that we see sometimes outside. He's painted an amazing portrait. It's just beautiful. It really speaks to me. Like, right? Animals can't do shit. They just eat and poo. It's like.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like that is what makes us human. I never understood this idea of stories are just like they're inconsequential. A character is just fictional, so you shouldn't really be engaged in what they're doing, be connected to the character. Like Superman and all that stuff are just mantles, so if you make this other character Superman, it's still Superman. It's not. It's a character that I connected to. If one knows Clark Kent, if it's not Clark Kent, then it's not Superman, kind of thing, right?
Yes.
So
agreed. He is because that's to people like that, like Zack Snyder and others. Oh boy, look at the politics. There we go.
Oh, I didn't notice that. That sucks.
It's all about the Orange Man bad. These people. So but see, you take like Superman. They think he's just his powers.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder doesn't understand Superman is about the values.
Yeah,
and that he's and his responsible use of that power,
right?
How he uses it, what he does with it,
right?
There are plenty of powerful beings in comics. There's nothing new about that.
Yeah.
So, that's DC for you. I mean, Cowan's political. I'm a political. That's why I don't touch any of their crap anymore. They can't help themselves. Everything's got to be a political statement. So, fine. You don't need me to read your comics then.
No.
They'll do without me. But yeah, Black Racer's different. That's for sure. Wonder Woman's message of universal love always stay. What's Wonder Woman? Is he talking about an animated, the older animated one they didn't?
He was just talking about Wonder Woman, and because
said it was
I've been on Nerdman and I met. I was on Nerdman's channel and we were talking about how bad Man of Steel was, which is hilarious. That you just happened to mention that now, but that's where we first started to talk about how we didn't like that movie or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's great to like, a lot of these characters is like, you invest yourself in them, and I don't see anything negative. It's just like anything, like you can get into a novel or, like it could be a series of novels and you're like, oh, I can't wait for the next one. Or it could be a TV show.
It's all about.
Like, and Star Trek, I mean, like if we look at Star Trek, which so many people have gone on to be better people because of Star Trek. Like there's been like people have become doctors based on bones, or engineers or astronauts,
psychologists, scientists of every type, pilots. And no, by the way,
the iPad is
right.
Like this iPad is.
Name another show that inspired people to that much in their lives. You can't. Right. They're the great shows. Even great shows, you go, that's a great show. Did anyone ever say, yeah, in fact, I like that show so much? They usually say, I watch it all the time, which is great. But they rarely say, it changed my life and it made me want to be. And it's just like a little show from the 60s with not with these sets that you could, if you want to say they look bad, I think they look fine, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That it's very it's got ray guns and uniforms and silly monsters, all that stuff, and yet it inspired people so much. Star Trek is so much more than a TV show, real Star Trek, not fake stuff. But
Right.
and it just it inspired everybody. It inspires everyone, and I love it. Real deal.
Yeah, Star Trek. I mean,
way.
this is true hot takes. Yeah, they like it's, and yeah, like I mean, these shows and characters and whatever. It's like they did inspire people, and like so many people have said to like Shatner and DeForest Kelly and all those guys, like, oh yeah, I became it because of Star Trek, and then Star Trek also like predicted stuff like the iPads, tricorders and. The phone, like I mean, the flip phone was exactly that communicator.
Totally
that was,
nice.
I mean, that's not even a little bit. Like that's exactly it, right?
Yeah.
Just the tricorder's the mother box.
Yeah.
That's the combination communicator and the tricorder.
Yes.
Mother box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keeps getting the title wrong. It's Man of Steel.
We got a lot about. I woke up the next morning. So I did this show. I woke up the next morning. There was like 300 tweets or something with my name, and
I remember. I got it too. So, yeah.
I didn't even read. I didn't read any of them because I literally don't care. So I responded to the thing saying, "By the way, I didn't read anyone's tweets, but I'm sure I'm right and you're wrong." And then that just generates more. And I'm like, guys, you see that I'm trolling you. I literally said I didn't read your thing, but obviously I'm right. And then like I would just respond, and this is how I respond all the time. I'm like, okay, I've gone back and reread your thing just to be sure, and now I'm 100% sure that I'm right and you're wrong. And they get even more, and they get even more. It's just like a cycle of nonsense. It's like, do you not see that it's just like I don't care? It's just nonsense to me.
Back when that crap came out, I had a guy making videos about me. It was before it even came out. Because we were daring to comment on the trailers and interviews. Look, they put all that shit out there, and people would say, "You haven't seen it yet. What are you talking about?" I didn't say I saw it. I'm commenting on things they are telling us it's there. I'm not putting the info out. They are.
Right.
And I'm just giving. I'm saying, well, if they're doing that, holy crap! Or he said this that was dumb, or that trailer. I wasn't saying I wasn't going to go. It'd be one thing if I was saying I'm not going to go watch that stuff, but it's garbage. I never said that. I said I have a lot of reservations about it, but I'll watch it and make up my mind. But that doesn't mean I can't comment when Hack Snyder comes out and says something stupid, or when they put a costume out there that I think looks like crap, or whatever.
Yeah,
that they put it out there. Yeah, they're putting it there to advertise.
2 years before the movie came out. So I'm like, hey, look, I'm just commenting on what's out there, and people were so hypersensitive about it.
Well, I don't know what they're like. The thing is like, what are they a fan of? Like the other thing too, like I saw this just this morning. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, so just this is indicative. This is not. I don't think this is anecdotal. I saw one. If I saw one, I saw 50 of people saying basically this in this way, not all exactly the same thing. All I want to see is Superman punch something. Now, because see, they're these little drones who follow idiots like Kevin Smith. And Kevin Smith had famously said, man, about Superman Returns, which I didn't like either. He came out and said, he said, Superman didn't even punch anything. He didn't throw one punch in the movie.
I agree with that.
I mean, that's fine. I understand what he's saying. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no action, and Superman doesn't fight it. I'm there, but they said, I just want to see Superman punch something, and that's the mentality. They want to see just a stupid fight. Well, that doesn't make a movie good if he's fighting. That's the only thing you're looking for. They wanted to see destruction. Like there's a reason why a lot of us started calling Man of Steel "quote unquote" disaster porn.
Right.
But it was far to the other way. The thing is, like,
right. I want to see action. Like that's the point. But also,
no, Kevin Smith is trying to coin a phrase because he's trying to be trendy, right? So he said, "Oh, I want to see Superman punch something," but it's an inarticulate way. It's a simplistic way of saying there's no conflict in that.
Yeah, let's face the conflict, right?
Yeah,
and he's not wrong. He was saying there's more to it than that, though. But these people, say, "I want to see Superman punching things. I want to see destruction. I want to see action." You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing that too, but I want to see Superman written well first.
Yeah, because then he's punching guys in Man of Steel, but he's bringing harm into like Smallville and stuff. It's like it none of it made sense. Anyway, whatever, man. I have nothing but bad feelings for this new movie.
Yeah, same.
I really don't care who's cast as what. I don't care because you know what? Henry Cavill could have made a great Superman and he wasn't. So like I don't care. I want to see the movie. I want to see what you do with these guys. That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And yeah, it's not my again, but I don't know how we got into that one, but it was my fault for going the Man of Steel route. But I'm just saying, hey, it's not Superman. I was about it'll just be a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't. So Nerdman, you wanted to cut you. Well, we're done talking about Fourth World stuff. So I mean, at this point, if you're still with us on a replay, we're done with Fourth World stuff. We're just shooting the shit now, just to have fun or whatever.
Yeah.
If hot takes, if you want to come on, because Clobby, what time you got to go in time for your other stream, right?
So you just that's 8:30, huh?
Yeah, you let me know when you want to go.
Oh yeah. I'm hanging. I mean,
we're in relax mode right now. So
in hang mode, yeah.
Yeah, Nerdman, if you want to come in and join us just for a few, just for a little bit.
No, we could talk about what you want to do after Fourth World. But,
well, we're gonna do. I think we're gonna do the Daredevil. You want to do Frank Miller's Daredevil?
I'm game.
Yeah, so let's do Frank Miller's Daredevil.
I got. By the way, I promised hopefully by tomorrow I will come up with what we're doing for Earth B, because I kind of wanted it to be Christmas related. But that's not easy.
All right. Yeah. There's not a lot. Nerdman's here.
We did the Christmas one last year, remember? And he has one other Christmas story, but I need to vet it yet.
Okay. Yeah, just let me know. No worries.
Not Brave and the Bold.
It's not okay. Yeah, no worries. I'm good with whatever.
Hey, Nerdman.
Hey, Nerdman.
Hey.
What do you got there, by the way? More toys?
What are we looking at, Sean or me?
I'm just putting my dust jacket back on the.
That's a great book, though, man. How many pages is that, Sutter?
It's like
1,000
pages.
1,000.
Yeah. 1,400.
How bad a comic book nerd I am.
Beautiful.
How bad of a comic book nerd are you, Nerdman?
I don't think I've read any Jack Kirby.
We're gonna have to fire him.
You're fired. You're fired.
That's okay, man.
I'm trying to think back now. Because I did.
Well, this is all Dark Side. This is Dark Side, and
I wasn't a very discerning comic book reader, when I was like younger, when I was reading the older stuff, and now I read more of the newer stuff.
Right.
Not new necessarily, but like
more recent,
thousands and this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like the graphic novels and shit like that. So it's interesting. I may have, but I can't specifically remember. What is the best thing to read? I definitely haven't read the Fourth
World stuff. So that's all Dark Side and Orion and all those guys that are in that, and Steppenwolf and all those guys in.
Are you a Marvel? Do you lean towards Marvel more or DC more? Or do you care one way or the other?
I'm all the way DC.
Okay.
All the way.
Because his greatest work for me is FF run.
You have no idea.
I got you. His FF run is probably my favorite thing, but he did, obviously the Fourth World, we're almost to the end of that, and we're really enjoying the hell out of it. And of course, I've read it once before, but
yeah.
Go ahead.
I know he did a lot of Marvel stuff as well, right?
That's right. Yeah, pretty much started up there, and then he went in 1970 when he left Marvel. He went and started the Fourth World stuff.
Yeah,
he pretty much is Marvel. Like, I mean,
he is Marvel. I mean,
he is Marvel. I don't know. Like, if I have to pick one person who is all-encompassing Marvel, it's Jack Kirby. Yes. I mean, like Ditko and what's his name? There's other guys in there.
What was the main thing he did at Marvel? Was it just
everybody
created all the characters? Like, when it was Stan Lee just ripped him off essentially.
Yeah, right? Basically, he created Captain America many years earlier when it was Timely Comics, of course, with his partner Joe Simon. Then he did a few other things, and then when he went back to Atlas Comics, he worked there for a while. Then in 1961, when they were shutting down the doors at Atlas, he created the Fantastic Four, and they started calling it Marvel Comics pretty soon after that. And then he created the Hulk, He created that version of Thor, the
whole
Avengers. He did partially create Spider-Man, but that was passed down to Steve Ditko. He pretty much laid all the foundation for Marvel.
X-Men.
And then Stan Lee went around just...
Stan Lee was just there along for the ride. He never
It's like Stan Lee is sort of like he'll say like it's like this is where these people have these debates, but there's not really. If you're a creator, there's no debate. If you're a generic person who knows nothing about creating or writing something, so Nerdman, here's an example. Okay, Nerdman, I want a character. How about like the human wall? And you're like, okay, and then you go and write everything. Design it, and draw it all, the whole thing. Then you present to me like, wow, Nerdman, that's great. And then J-Man and Nerdman teamed up to create the human wall, baby.
Yeah, J-Man just puts word bubbles everywhere. Right. It's like you made the story with your
right. You're more likely to see a unicorn than Stan Lee's script.
Does Stan Lee somewhat acknowledge that, or does he just like...
He lied his ass off.
Kind of the Bill Finger...
Bill Finger. Yeah, no, that was the worst atrocity of
Bob Kane was bad, but he did it to one guy, and even still, Bill Finger got paid for stuff. Whereas Lee did it to so many more people. He's way worse than Bob Kane, even though Kane was bad. But see, you're more likely to see a unicorn than a Stan Lee script anywhere. And the thing is, what he would do, Nerdman, is when he would get the finished pages on a story, which was completely plotted and created, all that stuff by the artist, usually Jack, but other ones too, like Stephen Coe. He would erase their dialogue that was along the margins and sometimes in the word balloons, and he would add dialogue. I'm writing this story. You see, I'm the writer because I wrote the dialogue. And if you go back and read those stories, the one thing that doesn't hold up is the cringy dialogue.
Right. So. And what's funny too is like the entire Fantastic Four Silver Surfer Galactus debacle is like, he's like, okay, I want, Jack Kirby created Galactus and all that, and he created Silver Surfer as this herald. And literally, Stan Lee's like, "What's this character? Like, why is this guy here?" And then he explains the whole story of Silver Surfer. He's like, "Oh wow, that's great." And it's like that's a complete Jack Kirby creation. And then I stand half.
But later, he lied and said he did it.
Do you understand this narrative that I often see it in documentaries, right? That Marvel kind of innovated these characters of conflict, with the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man and all of this kind of thing, as opposed to DC, where the characters were like perfect or something prior, and they didn't really have inner conflict. And the first one to like really have problems with their job or something like that was like Spider-Man. Because I don't really see that. I find all of those comics like in the 60s, in the way you were talking about Clobbering Time, where the dialogue was kind of it was so on the nose that you couldn't even appreciate, there was a little bit of conflict in it. It was so basic, and fair enough, it was for children. I'm not trying to like...
Right. But it's still true, though.
I don't think, like, the real... I think both DC and Marvel kind of at the same time, like during maybe the 80s or something like that, like started with these conflicting characters, these more in-depth characters. I don't think it was Marvel at all. Really.
It actually really was the Marvel, though. It was because, see, at that time, when they started engaging college kids, started being a higher demographic for Marvel, where they weren't for DC. What happened was, yes, that dialogue is cringy now, but at the time, it wasn't as much. There was an era where people did talk. There was nothing really, like you could go read one now and go, oh my God, do people talk like that? But a lot of them did. So TV, movie, art, all of it the dialogue was no different from that. And they were characters with problems at the time. DC characters were perfect. I love both sets of characters. But yes, so that is true. But it all came from Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko, those two, making characters that felt like human beings with problems that were also superheroes. And then later DC, jumped on that bandwagon with some of the same writers.
What do we mean by that? Because I mean, Batman's parents were killed in front of him.
Right, but
how much more of a problem is that?
No, yeah, it's true.
I know they went through the whole comic code kind of issue, which was like, they took away the balls from all the characters, but like,
Well, at the time though, Batman had no problems.
He was suffering, wasn't he? A little bit, at least.
Well, yeah,
no,
at the
not
time,
really.
but the readers didn't know that at the time. That's true of his origins. You're right, in the 40s and stuff. And even then, the stories didn't focus on anything like that, but their adventures in the costume. Whereas, whereas the whole soap opera of life, if you will, Spider-Man had that.
They just focused on his superhero, right?
Right. Spider-Man had that. Hulk was tragic. The Thing was tragic. Captain America had been brought back after World War II into the Avengers, out of fish out of water. They all had problems. So Tony Stark had a thing in his heart to keep him alive. So those things weren't being done at DC at the time. So Marvel brought in the older readers, and then DC followed suit, like they all. Both sides took each other off.
We've been reading a lot of classics like Golden. I've been reading in my personal time a lot of Golden Age DC. There's no Golden Age Marvel in the sense of what you think Marvel is.
That's timely.
But like, let's say, and I have been reading Submariner and Human Torch. Those Golden Age, I have some of those books. But anyway, and I read a shit ton of Human Torch. I don't know why I just got onto that, but whatever. Like Jim Hammond, Human Torch, but. Cool. And then Silver Age, and we've been reading a lot of Silver Age too, just on different streams and just in general our personal lives, and we've been collecting those. And you could definitely see that Marvel's Silver Age is like, whoa, like this is crazy. Like Sean did an experiment. I don't know last year, Sean? I was
reading, Avengers and Justice League, like
at the same time. Yeah. So you actually, I wanted to do a stream on this because you actually gave me this great idea to what I was going to call it year one. And what I meant by, I was going to call it like, not JLA year one, JLA the story year one, but the actual first year. So I was toying with this idea, and I'm saying it now live. I have not mentioned this to anybody, and this is based off Sean's thing. And then Sean, I want you to tell us your findings. But of year one, and I mean the first 12 issues of whatever. So I'd be like, Fantastic Four year one. What happens in the first year? I did it for Green Lantern. I did it for Golden Age, Alan Scott Green Lantern. I read 24, so I guess 2 years. I don't know when All American was coming out, but I read the first 24 Green Lantern Golden Age ones. I'm now reading Star Spangled Kid, read some Liberty Bell, Golden Age, and Liberty Bell. So just to see, because there was women and all this, like, oh really? What about Liberty Bell? She's tough. So, anyways, but Sean, you read Justice League and Avengers at the same time, right?
Right.
And this is Justice League. Sorry, this is Avengers number 1.
1 onward, yeah.
1 onward. And what about Justice League? Do you know what number?
I think it was 1. No, they were starting up.
They started the same. Brave and the Bold number 28 was their first appearance.
Okay. So Sean, tell us what you found.
Well, the thing, Avengers just seemed more exciting only because their roster got mixed up a lot, and all the characters had some sort of personality and conflict with someone else, and at one point, it's maybe just 4 of them. It's Cap, Hawkeye, who doesn't like Cap at the time, calls him Methuselah and all that stuff, and Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, and they're formerly villains and all that. And it just felt it was I wanted to see what was going to happen in the next issue, and all the villains were pretty neat as well for Avengers. For Avengers for Justice League, it was it's the same roster. They fight a villain here and there. It's like Kataro or those 3 demons. I can't remember their names. Not a lot happens, and there's not a lot of mix-up, and it's just basically they resolve it in some sort of weird way. It wasn't really. They weren't really telling stories that were really engaging.
They were pretty juvenile, just like those Legion.
Yeah, and I was like, wow. I at the time, Justice League was still trouncing Avengers. That's because people didn't really know what Avengers was.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But if it were me, I would totally go with Avengers. At one point, and they were doing social commentary as well. I mean, they fought the Serpent Society, and that was sort of their version of of a bigot group. I'm trying to dance around words here.
Yes, please. I got half demonetized.
I know. But I mean, Justice League would never do that,
Right.
So yeah, you could see where Marvel was trying to do things differently than their distinguished competition and being a bit more edgy. And mixing up rosters was a real gonzo thing,
Right, and we're all Superman people here.
Early DC, go, J-Man.
I know. I just wanted to say, just as a thing, Superman's my favorite character. I think Superman is Sean's favorite character. Mm-hmm. Superman is Clobby's second favorite character. Batman's in our my second. Batman's in our, yeah. So Batman, like the DC characters for me, it's like Batman, Superman, Batman, Robin, Supergirl, Wonder Woman, or Wonder Woman, Supergirl. Like that'd be my top 5 if I separate them. I usually cheat and say every Superman.
I love them all. Yeah, I love them.
And then after that, the next like 10 or 12 or 13 are all Marvel people, right? So, but my top 5 are all DC people. But I have to admit that like Silver, Bronze, Marvel is almost everything is awesome in some way. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I get that, but I think the enduring thing for me about DC and what I even see even in the earlier comics and what strikes me as kind of remarkable in a way that it came together, given that it wasn't like one team of writers that was doing this. It was just separate people just writing, these stories and being brought under one publishing house, essentially, is that there's something even in those early comics that is very mythic about the origins and the underlying themes of like DC characters. It's not like, I'll put it this way, I think purposely so, Marvel is like a lot of the early heroes are like products of the kind of atomic age and where science is going and where the space age is going and stuff like that. Whereas DC characters who obviously came before, it's like, I feel like you could explain a DC character to some ancient Greek person, right? Like, or you could explain Superman or Wonder Woman, like obviously Wonder Woman.
Well, obviously, Wonder Woman we can, yeah.
And it would click. Like, okay, you can. There's something timeless about those characters.
I agree with that statement. That there's timelessness to like Superman or Batman or something.
But I mean, that's not to say, like I do like Spider-Man, I do like Daredevil and stuff like that. But I just think that characters like Thor and like, what is it about really? Like, there's not like I don't know. Like Thor, obviously, the original Thor is about something like the original mythical Thor, but like there's a lot of those characters. I love Captain America, for instance. Captain America is another one of my favorites because there's the meaning behind that. There's like something that you can explore and delve into.
Well, he's a Golden Age character, oddly enough, if you're saying Captain America, because he's before all of that Marvel. So he's around the time of your Batmans and
it makes sense. And I
the one guy that you're giving the pass to.
No, but I like Daredevil as well because
so he's new,
the theme there is like patriotism, right? And it's like, what does patriotism mean? What does it mean to be a patriotic man, and a patriotic man perhaps even out of time, right? And that can be explored in multiple different dimensions. That could be a critique of patriotism, for instance, but it can also be, a reignition of what patriotism should mean. Right, so there's a philosophical debate and thing happening at the core of that character that is universal, right? Like that's something you can always explore, and I struggle to find that sometimes with some of the Marvel characters, whereas I don't have that struggle with DC characters, and maybe that's a blind spot on my part.
I did a show about a year or two ago with a good friend of mine he's very extraordinarily knowledgeable about comics, and it was the premise of the show was Marvel and DC characters, are they really that different, pretty much? And of course, spoiler alert, no. And we broke it down through history in terms of the characters. I mean, not in terms of company, if you were just saying this Marvels are this and DC are that, as far as superheroes are concerned, they're really not, because most of the same creators over the years worked for both companies and switched companies all over the place. And so there's not really the kind. Now, but when people think that, usually it's a conception of movies. For example, a lot of people are talking for movies. Say again, I'm sorry.
I'd need to because you're going over something like very quickly. Like, what do you mean by different? Like
Well, for example,
in what sense that they have powers and origin stories, and like
just different. In other words, like if someone were to ask you, like, or ask me, so what do you like better, Marvel or DC? And you do hear a lot of people, just like you said, you're a DC guy. All the time you hear people say, I'm a Marvel guy myself, or I'm a DC guy. Now you will occasionally hear someone say, I like them both, which is what I am. What I'm saying is, why does that happen? That's what the whole point of the show is. Why are they so different? Why would someone say that?
Can I make a very big distinction? Sure. There are the top characters at DC and the top characters at Marvel. That's all I'm discussing. If you're talking about the thousands, the plethora of characters that exist within the whole, if you're talking about the top like 6 characters, which I include, like like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter. Those are the characters that I'm concerned with. The rest of the characters, like, yeah, you're right. Like, there's no distinction between them.
No,
I do think there's a difference between what Superman is as a character and his origins, and the fact of how complete his world is. It's like it's complete, but it's also infinitely has the ability to be reimagined in so many different ways. And that's what's interesting for me. I don't know that because the origin is so classic. It's classic. It's simple.
It has nothing to do with the publishing company.
Sorry,
yes, but none of that has anything to do with the publishing company. The whole point of that exercise was with that show was to show that the characters and the stories and the origins and the art and all of those things are not that different. People are putting a publisher label onto the characters to a point where if you didn't know anything about who published them, like I say you read Superman Forever, but someone was able to edit out that knowledge that it was DC National Periodical Publications, and then the same token, if you read Spider-Man and you didn't know you just read these comics, they would still be comics and they would still be characters that could live in the same universes, have the same types of stories, but they vary because of their creators, their writers, their artists. That was we were not just talking about the characters in that sense. We're talking about the characters and the comics and the stories and the concepts.
Well, do you think it goes by the era? Like, so
the eras. Yes, eras are important.
That's what I was just gonna ask. Yeah. So because as I said, I read Green Lantern, the first like 24, more than that actually. I read the first couple of years now of All American Comics, Green Lantern, and some of the other stories in there, and Star Spangled Comics. I read a few as well, and it's literally Green Lantern is fighting racketeers. He's fighting blackmailers. He's fighting, these guys who are these corrupt lawyers. He's fighting like, this official who's taking bribes. It's like this woman who's being swindled by these horse thieves. And this is the Green Lantern. Like, out of the 24 that I read, at one point the ring he didn't have enough charge because he had forgot to charge it, and then at one point he had lost the ring and then got it back. But that is all that's happened. And then I read the first 2 years of Superman, our Action Comics. And it's literally the same thing. And then I'm reading now. Star Spangled Comics in the first issue. Stripesy and Star Spangled Kid fight a robot and a guy that drinks a formula and becomes like a kind of a Hyde creature, which literally jumped out at me because I thought, whoa, you're fighting this robot. I have not seen anything like that from Green Lantern or even Superman. Ultra Human Knight he looked like Luthor really to me
because he was
in his original formation was the first villain character that I was like, whoa, this is the Ultra Human Knight. That's the first Superman villain that we've ever seen, not even before. He looked like Lex Luthor, but could have been Luthor.
Well, he kind of supposed to was be, but yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. So it's like none of them did anything out of the ordinary. Now, again, that is 40s. In Legion of Superheroes, all of it that we've been covering, and only now with Jim Shooter coming on board, who's a kid, where we're getting this expanded unit, my imagination's opening, like, wow, there's all these different things. There's these villains coming from all over the place. There's these conflicts, these cosmic problems, Sun Eater. prior to that, it was all very ho-hum. Legion of Superheroes was like a bunch of teens at a playground, like, oh, you're it. No, you're it. Oh, you did this. You did this. Sean mentioned that with a juvenile kind of.
Very juvenile.
And then I'm not saying, I don't know if I want to say Marvel is responsible or maybe the times, and they tapped into.
But he said that was.
Yeah, they tapped into the time.
And they tapped into the time. So it was Marvel, but they also got lucky with the times too.
Shooter
right?
said it
There's
was.
a big distinction here, right? Which is DC was run by a cabal of like really very corrupt kind of people who happened to come across a number of different creative teams, really weirdly different. Like Bill Finger and Bob Kane versus
Siegel and Schuster, right?
Gardner Fox,
and then
right.
You've got this weird psychologist guy who creates Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I got you. It's like different walks.
And the problem that DC has is that's both its strength and its weakness, because I don't think that they have as much pride in everything they've done. Right, like, and that's led down to, oh, Batman's successful, so let's do the Batmanization of all of our
I agree with that.
Whereas
I agree with that for sure.
What's special about these characters is that they were created by these different people, but they fit together so well.
That's a good point.
It's so interesting that you get this guy who creates Gotham, and then another one who creates Metropolis. Right, and that these two very distinct type of cities, and they never capture that in the films, which is another really annoying thing about even not just Zack Snyder, but even
any of them really.
Yeah,
who did the first Superman?
Richard Donner.
Richard Donner, exactly. Right, like they never gave Metropolis a character. Right, like that reflects the hero that Superman is, and I think that was a mistake, and I hope James Gunn fixes that mistake, but that's a very big.
That's not happening, but
no.
This would be. I'd love to moderate this going back and forth because, so an interesting point. DC, all of the creators are such different, unique individuals that created their little thing, and then that became a big character, and then Marvel is on the back of Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko and Joe Simon and I guess if you want to throw Stan's name just as an aside in there,
I think you can throw Stanley in there. It's not as the creative thing,
right? But
like
somebody
promoter of these characters.
So you've got like all of these different people from different walks of life creating these individually unique characters that are now forced to be together because they're all in DC versus Marvel, which is like it's like Marvel's like the four of us started a comic book company. Here we go, right? And we can tap into what's cool right now and capture the imagination and all that. I don't know, like
it's set in New York, it's set like mainly in New York, right?
Yes.
Like these characters, and so I always appreciate. A lot of people appreciate like, oh, Marvel's set in the real world.
People do like that.
That DC is actually set in these like cities that symbolize the character, and the character is like the hero of this specific.
They got all these different cities, fictional cities. Yeah,
it's so interesting. Yeah, it's like I love them both, and I'm just going by like if I was a kid, I remember I talked to people who were older who didn't even know that there were separate companies, and I remember this one guy. He's probably like I don't know. He's probably like maybe like he's probably Clobby's age, and he was like
that's old.
And he but he didn't know about comic books. So he was just watching cartoons. And he literally was like, hey, how come Spider-Man's not on Super Friends? What the hell is that? Why is he like, he's thinking, he's like, we don't need this Flash guy. He goes, why do we got Hulk and Spider-Man on this team? And he asked me, and this is before MCU. This is like maybe 15 years ago. Because I was, I would be talking, I was a nerd. And he'd be like, yeah, he goes, I always wonder why that they weren't together. I was like, well, they're DC and Marvel. He's like, oh yeah, I never even realized that. I was like, yeah, they won't go together. And he didn't get it.
It's a crossover,
and it's like unless it's a crossover, which we did cover one of those on your channel. So
we did. Yeah, we did Superman, Spider-Man, the first one.
We did Superman's, no, we did Hulk and Batman.
No, we did Batman, Hulk. My other friend Ace did Superman, Spider-Man.
Ace, yeah, he did, yeah. But anyways, it is interesting to like talk about this, and I think now looking back, people have come up with these reasons why. I'm just looking at excitement value. Like Legion has really gone up now big time because we started out, we knew it was going to be a bit goofy, and it's gone way up now. And it's just going to get better, right? It's going to get better until it gets worse, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much that's how it's going to go. Same with Superman. Same with any of these, like as I'm reading these Golden Age ones, they're going to get better until they get to the point where maybe they're going to be really goofy. It's almost like we started off at like kind of a bit lame, and now we're really good, and then we're going to get into goofiness, and then we're going to get really good, and then we're going to get really bad. And I think for me, Marvel, after Bronze Age, and if someone says, are you a Marvel or DC guy, gun to my head, I guess I'm going to say a DC guy because of my favorite characters. But I love Marvel, but as soon as the Bronze Age ends, that is like that decline. It's like, oh, this isn't that good. This is worse. And now I don't even buy any Marvel comics. The last Marvel comic I bought was Joe Fixit because Peter David did it. It was Joe Fixit. It was 6 issues and it was all fighting. It was just Hulk, Gray Hulk fighting different guys. I'm like, this is good enough for me. I like that. And Marvel to me is like super dead. DC, I will still go back and I get DC comics every week. Some are better than others. Granted, I don't like Alan Scott, but I like Superman this week or whatever it was. Like, so I don't know. Marvel to me is just like, Marvel is silver and bronze. That's where they were really the champions. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then now they're awful. Like DC has murdered them, in my opinion. But DC's not even that good. DC is not that good. DC, right? There's a lot of shit at DC, but it's way better than Marvel.
They've done some interesting stuff recently.
It has done some interesting stuff, but a lot of it's still poop. But Marvel's all.
Like, Jets, I'm gonna run. Because I go get the Nerd Man, buddy. Great meeting. Great to finally get a chance to talk to you. I hope we get a chance to talk again sometime, sir. It was enjoyable.
No, it's a pleasure as well.
So, Clobby, what do you got going on? What do you got going on? Let's get you.
Oh, I'm going to go on with Nick and the Comic Shop Boys in a little bit. There, I think our buddy Gary Kissel's going to be on there. He's got a new crowdfunded comic coming out. We'll talk to him about that and other geek stuff. And then tomorrow night, Saturday night, Star Trek, as you know, starting 4th season of Voyager. Going to make you happy. So we won't be beting up Voyager as much now, thanks to you.
Because it's 7 of 9.
Oh, I would love to.
No, don't, Nerd Man. Me and you have the same opinion, and he's not gonna like it.
No, it's okay.
I ruined the show.
Oh, I like that. I like the different.
Oh no, I don't agree with that.
I don't agree, but I like that he has a different take though. That's cool. I
accidentally posted Nerdman's channel now. I got to remove it. I got to remove that comment.
But yeah, there's that, and of course the Geekery is Sunday night on Mark Dees. But again, Sean, buddy, always good to see you, and really had a great time tonight. Thanks, J-Man, for having me. Chat was good, and the Nerd Man, it's an honor to have hanging out with you and talk some comics with you, my friend.
Thanks, man.
Let's do it again, buddy.
All right,
good night, Jill. Good night, everybody.
We could stay on. So I posted everyone else's stuff. I can still chat for a little bit more. 7 of, I love 7 of 9. You're crazy, Nerd Man. This is crazy.
No. Okay, can I just say this?
No,
it's not 7. It's not the woman's fault. It's not her specifically, but the show got completely hijacked by her.
I know, but she was awesome.
For one reason and one reason only, and we all know that reason.
There was 2 reasons, but besides
2 reasons exactly, and it was like,
no,
she's fine. She was an interesting spice in the first season, but then it was just like every fucking episode. Whereas before they explored different characters. It was after 7 of 9, it was either a Doctor episode or 7 of 9 episode.
I agree. It was a bit much, but she was a great character. But Janeway's still my favorite on that. But Clobby doesn't like Clobby's not a Janeway fan.
Janeway got hijacked, and she was like one of my favorite captains, man.
She's my second favorite captain, which is a hot take right there. Kirk's number 1. If someone says it's not Kirk, they're number 1, then they're insane.
Me too. It's Kirk and then Janeway, bro.
Me too. Me too. I love Janeway. Picard's like probably my lowest, to be honest. I don't know what.
I find him utterly vapid, so boring.
He's boring.
Don't get like the celebrity around him. He's like the second biggest one, but I think it's just because he was the one that got brought back first.
Yeah,
I'd much prefer films about like the Voyager crew.
Yeah, I love Voyager. To me,
like
Next Gen's my
Paris
weakest one as well.
Tuvok was so funny in the first 2 seasons, and then I feel like they just
sidelined him, a little bit.
Because he was the first Vulcan. This is what I loved about Tuvok. He was the first Vulcan who was like not like, oh, basically all the Vulcans were kind of parables about why human emotions or having emotions is better. Whereas Tuvok was like, fuck all that shit, man. Being logical is superior. I am superior to you because I'm logical,
He was a full Vulcan because
they still managed to tell those stories about like the emotional thing, right? Mm-hmm. But like in a much less like obvious way, right? Like Tuvok just I think in those first few seasons he was an MVP along with the Doctor. And yeah, okay, sure. What was her name? Neelix? No, not Neelix.
Kes?
Kes?
Yeah.
Okay, you could say she wasn't supremely interesting, but at least her people were interesting. The idea, like, there's these humanoids who only live 9 years but are like super powerful, was kind of interesting,
Yeah. Did you watch Voyager, Sean, or no? Do you know what we're talking about?
On and off. I know the characters. I know Cass and all that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our mutual friend loves Cass. That's like his super favorite character of all time. He can't stop. he loves her so much.
Yeah. I think Cass was great. She
was good. I like everybody. Listen, I like B'Elanna. She came in, took charge, got shit done. I like people that get shit done around here. Yeah. To me, like they were a solid ass crew. I liked everybody.
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine, though, it was my first Star Trek series that I watched, and I love everybody. The people
was also great.
I just love it. And like Cisco, I just thought he was like so badass. The reason I don't put him as my second favorite captain is that he's not really a captain. He's got like making him a captain is weird. It's like he's the commander of a space station. That's a big responsibility. Having him there, just like, oh, we'll make him a captain just so he's a captain. Captain of the Defiant to do random missions here. That's weird.
He wasn't technically a captain, but like he was the captain of.
He's a leader.
He's the leader. So you were saying who's your favorite leader? Well, Avery Brooks is awesome, but like Cisco, is the thing is Avery Brooks himself is awesome. If you watch all of his interviews, he's just like a cool guy. So, But
what I loved about Janeway was like she was feminist without like stuffing it down your throat or anything like that. She was
still a woman,
really good at her job, and she was good at her job because she was a woman. They emphasized the qualities of her. Much in the same way the Wonder Woman movie did, which was a great thing about the Wonder Woman movie, is that they were great heroes because they were women, but not with this kind of like,
men are trash or whatever,
trash men or whatever to accomplish that. It was just like, she has a kind of way about her. Her leadership style emanates from her being a woman.
Yeah, like Tuvok was still great. Like Chakotay was awesome. It wasn't like they made them inferior to build her character up.
Yeah.
Right. And same with Wonder Woman. Steve Trevor wasn't an idiot. He was great at his job. He was a good soldier. He was a pilot. He knew what he was doing. He was an honorable guy. He was a go-getter. But it made Wonder Woman look even better because he was also cool. So you're like, wow, she's even better. It wasn't like, we have to make everybody stupid to make Wonder Woman look good. Yeah, they just made everyone look good, and she just looked better.
The exact opposite lesson from 1984, which just.
I still like that. She's awesome. So.
All right. Yeah,
we're definitely not bringing that one up. Not at 9:30 when I got to go into.
Well, let's not bring that one up. Can I ask you one question I've never asked you though? Because I know you hate the Batman.
No, I don't hate it. I gave it 5 out of 10. I've seen it 3 times.
Okay, so you broadly speaking are not the biggest fan of the Batman. Okay,
right?
Is that fair enough to say?
I bought the making of book. I bought all of the toys. I bought the soundtrack. So I'm pretty.
I'm like a politician.
I'm not the biggest. I'm not the biggest fan in terms of my enthusiasm for it, but if you ask any random person who loves it more than me, they probably haven't invested as much time and money in it as I have. So,
okay, all right, I'll agree with you on that. I'll agree with you on that. Okay. But what I was going to ask you is, do you agree that the storytelling, at least the storytelling in that movie, is better than is a better depiction of Batman than Man of Steel is of Superman.
Oh yeah, I would say that. Whoa, Sean! Oh, you thought this through. Oh, you have to think about it. I got to hear this now.
I would say the attempt is a better attempt than Man of Steel, but I don't like the story in the Batman. I think it's lazy and stupid, and I don't think he's investigating anything. But it's the illusion of him investigating, and they're trying to do something like that. Then yes, it's better. It's a better
it's not
depiction of Batman than Man of Steel is of Superman.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, it's not perfect in terms of the detective stuff because you do feel like, well, he doesn't really get ahead of, the Riddler or anything like that.
It's not investigate. Yeah, it's just dumb clues.
I don't think these movies can be perfect because you've only got a limited amount of time. So you have to emphasize one element more than the other. And I think they wanted to emphasize the Riddler being... Yeah. What was that? Sorry.
There's only a limited amount of time, and I said, or 3 hours. Yeah.
3 hours is a lot of time.
Yeah.
Jessica Fletcher solves the case in 44 minutes on TV every week. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Batman could
make her Batman.
Put her in charge.
No, you could have her as a kind of background character. You can. Who you're developing. And to be fair, Jessica Fletcher doesn't have 1 hour or 45 minutes. She has like several hours of TV time to develop over time.
But no, she solves it more. She 3 hours. And Matlock always has a photograph that you can find. It's like, in this picture, the time says this, and you said it was this time, so boom, solved it. Right?
Anyway, I don't want to get into that. My point was that, when you, again, having written screenplays and stuff like that, I think it's not as easy as people make out, and especially when
it's super not easy
things from your story and.
Yeah, that's why people can't do it. Listen, the Batman, here's a big compliment to the Batman. The guy checked all the boxes that the fans wanted and the boxes that need to be checked for a Batman movie. That's why I immediately said yes. Superman was Zack Snyder's thing, or Man of Steel is Zack Snyder's thing. I'm going to take Superman. I'm going to make him cool because what I want to see, here's that, and that's like, you didn't think about the character, what story to tell with this character, how to portray this character. The Batman, Tim, what's the guy's name? Tim? No, is it Tim?
No.
Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves. Sorry.
Yeah.
Matt Reeves. I read the first part of the book of the making of Batman, the art book and stuff, and he legitimately is like, look, he goes, I want to tell a detective story. I want him to be working with the cops. I want it to be dark. He wanted all of these things to happen for the character. So his mind was in the right spot, but it just got away from him. It's like, it's too long. It's bloated. He's not figuring out anything. He's kind of walking around and it's like, I like Catwoman. He made her a cat burglar. She actually can fight. Like he made the Catwoman the way the Catwoman, it's like, if I told you everything about the Batman, you'd be like, hell yeah, that sounds like the 10 out of 10 perfect Batman.
And then I watched it and said, hell yeah.
Well, then you watched it, and then I saw the real version of it, which is the version that was like okay, and I thought it was like not that great, but he wanted to do it. This is why I do not beat up. You never hear me beat up the Batman. I beat up Man of Steel every chance I get. I throw it under the bus. I never beat up the Batman because I respect the guy for trying to do what we want. Like Sean, it's like we want a detective story. Okay, yeah, I'm giving it. It's just not very good, as you're saying. It's like it's not a detective story, right?
Yeah, that's what Rayman's saying. It's a better Batman movie than Man of Steel is a Superman movie because there's an intent there to make a Batman movie.
That's why I said yes to that.
Yeah,
but I still think it's 5 out of 10. It's like, it's okay. It's too long.
Fair enough. I mean, each to their own. I just was curious about that because we were talking about Man of Steel earlier, and I've never asked you that question. Like, is it as egregious to you?
Oh God, no! Not even at not
I
at
feel
all.
Like it's made with so much more passion for the character.
For sure.
Even if you don't agree with that interpretation of the character, it's made with so much more passion.
He looked cool,
Batman.
Like, I mean, I thought he looked cool. I thought Pattinson was okay. I thought he did good. Like, he was good.
It even goes back to the Adam West stuff. It even kind of like does a dark version of the Adam West stuff, where like Batman's just in there walking into like crime scenes and what do you call it, like mixing it up with the police. That's straight out of Adam West.
Yeah, for sure.
It took every single era, and it's the same with Shazam, which I like about that film. Is like, all these Shazam fans have come out of the woodworks recently with the latest film. These long-term Shazam fans.
I know. They're such liars.
Like
I have
like,
the first appearance.
The original was so much. That never happened with the first movie, but anyway, they came out with the woodworks with the second movie.
Yeah, I've got the first time Shazam appeared in DC. I have that comic.
There was no. I felt that while not trying to just make the Shazam movie that every Shazam fan wants to see, it at the same time respected all the eras of Shazam. It didn't just take from the New 52, right? It even took from the TV show, where you get like a little cameo from the TV guy in his little
that was awesome.
Shirt, like that was awesome, right? Like exactly, like so it took from all of those elements, and then created its own thing.
They tried on that one too. I gave that one a pass big time. I gave that one a pass for sure. I was like, this was cool. It was kind of fun. I gave it a pass. I even gave the Flash a pass, which everyone hates on me. I get a little bit of pushback on the Flash, but I watched it again recently with my wife, and she really enjoyed it. And I thought it was pretty neat.
Yeah, my girlfriend enjoyed it as well. I liked it. I thought it was nice, but
and there's like stupid shit in it.
CGI was shit. That was basically it.
Yeah, and no Flash villains, which is a disappointment. It's not a Flash. It's like they didn't have any Flash villains. So there's like
Flashpoint movie. Yeah,
you're right. It's a Flashpoint movie, but not which you shouldn't really do right away out of the gate. No, but whatever. It is.
If you don't know anything about the Flash, you're thinking, oh, he time travels now. Like what?
Right.
It's not about him being fast and fighting guys.
Sean's like always boils like it's like just boil it down, right? Like Like I think Sean, usually you're like, okay, what is this movie about?
Yeah.
Tell me about this character. Go. Well, Flash is a time traveling character that go. It's like, no, he's not. He runs. Like,
yeah.
Right, wait a second. That's what makes him special, is that he can do all of these stuff.
No, but I'm saying if you
understands the physics of what it.
But
means
that's not what he does.
Speed. And it's not just time travel; it's a bunch of other things.
But what I'm saying, if you didn't know Flash though, but if you didn't know who Flash was, and you only watch this movie, and then afterwards I have a quiz, you're gonna be like, oh, Superman's a time traveler.
Is that what you want?
No, but it's not about him using. It's not about the speed and doing things as fast. Only in the first 5 minutes. Then it's a time travel movie, and it's like Back to the Future or something. You're like,
I see what you mean.
Right, like.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a cool part 3 or something.
Yeah, I think you could have done a two-parter.
Right? Yeah, not the first movie, right? Like, Superman shouldn't be fighting Darkseid on the first movie. Or whatever, right? Like you're like, oh, that was pretty fast, like.
Or like dying in the second movie.
That was stupid, right? Superman died in the second appearance. It's like you just rebooted this universe with Man of Steel. And problematic first movie, but some people liked it, some people didn't. That's fine. We're giving it a chance for part 2. You bring Batman in and Wonder Woman and Doomsday, and Superman dies. You're like, but he just started. And people kept saying, well, he'll be Superman in the next movie. No, he won't, because he's dead. When is he going to be and then this is my problem with Justice League. Then he's not in Justice League. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, he's not Superman in the first week because he's Man of Steel. He's not the real Superman. Fine. Then part 2, okay, he's finally Superman. No, he's dead. I'm like, okay, he's dead. Okay, but now it's part 3. Now he's the real Superman. No, he's not in this movie. I'm like, so when is there going to be a
exaggeration? Exaggerate.
Okay, so he's in it, but he does nothing. It's like, when is he going to be in the movie?
That scene. I'll put that scene.
Okay, last point, and then I gotta go. Last point, nerd. I'll give you the last word on this.
It's too bad because I wanted to talk about the Spider-Verse, but anyway, doesn't matter. That scene where he's walking through deciding which suit he's going to wear, and you hear both dads like saying all of the stuff, like "fly, son, fly." All of that kind of stuff is pure fucking Superman.
Yeah, but then he picks a black costume.
And then he flies up.
It looks so stupid.
He doesn't. He chose the black costume. All right,
right, which looks like his enemy. It's like let me wear the costume of the guys that tried to destroy the planet.
Should have worn the blue costume. Yeah,
correct. Right, it's nonsense. Right, so Zack Snyder gave you this big scene, and it's an interesting scene. It's like the fathers are talking, and you're like, okay,
bro, I will put that up against any Donner scene.
Well, but they ruined it with the black costume. Now I'm wearing a black costume. But Superman, that looks like the bad guys that attacked the Earth. So now you look like you're one of the bad guys.
I guess because of the comics, but whatever. Like
Zack Snyder thinks it's cooler, and that's the bottom line. All right, everybody. Sean, what do you got going on your channel?
It's still there, Deception77. Visit it. I'll be putting up stuff in the next few weeks. I'm still busy at work, man.
Nerd man, I put your link up in the chat. Do you have anything planned? Any live streams planned? Are you taking it easy or
no? Unless you want to stop by and chat to me about something.
We can chat with whatever.
Maybe a Christmassy thing, but yeah.
You got to do our.
I'll be alone because. My girlfriend's traveling on the 19th, and then I'm meeting her just after the New Year, so I'll be alone for a bit, like during Christmas.
We should do James Bond or something. We should do a James Bond thing because Clobberin loves James Bond too, and we can all.
Yeah, we could do James. I still haven't got through the latest James Bond movie.
Well, we won't need to talk about it because it's awful and it's not James Bond, so that's easy. That's not going to affect anything.
Yeah, let's definitely do that. Yeah, that sounds fun.
All right, everybody. I gotta go. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still with us all this time, that's great. We're just having fun here. If you're watching this later on, then definitely make sure to hit the like, and if you are so inclined, please subscribe. And that is it. All right, everybody. Until next time.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man. And he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.